Knocked his ass out and kissed him on the cheek. He fucked up just by thinking I was sweet. I run the city, might have thought I was some cliques. You never heard someone like this upon the beat. Tutti fruity, the booty duty is jury duty. Moody foodies, jacuzzis is filled with bougie booties. All of this money, don't know how to count it, man. I think I need a computer. I can't live in beat, man. I live at the funeral. I got no need for a shooter. I'm getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger. The whole label's drug dealers, If you build it, homie, they will come. If you turning up to save me some. Drop down to get your ego on. I don't care for boring people. I think you're lame. I only politic with goons while out the frame. Better take another shot, bitch. It's not a game. I'll beat it out the frame. Baraka, waka, flock of flame. I am a legend, man. You know that I have a problem with acting a fool. I don't talk to police. I know nothing. I swear to God that shit is not true. I'm a barbarian, hopping adrenaline, looking for something to do. I'm remarkable. I'm on a roll. If you need education, I'll take you to school. I'm getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger. Wake up, brush off, get clean, look good. Put on 2 chains, flexing, but what's up? So fly, 2C, be you, look good. I win, you lose, fuck you, what's up? I don't care for boring people. I think you're lame. I only politic with goons while out the frame. Better take another shot, bitch. It's not a game. I'll beat it out the frame. Baraka, waka, flock of flame. I'm the shit. Now I think I will go catch a body. Fuck your bitch. And then I will go take a potty. No teriyaki, I rock Kawasaki. If you're go, you can hop in the shotty. She popping the molly, we'll cop in the squatty. Oh, cookie, loving the body. I'm getting bigger. Do you wanna reconsider? Lost control of a killer. I'm getting bigger. Sing this. 1 time. 2 time. 3 time. Hey.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Well, what is happening to you guys? And welcome to another episode of the Fins Tailgate. I am your host, El Capi Maitan. And tonight on the tailgate party that never seems to stop, we got some Dolphins updates. We got some questions that need answering. We got some Dalvin Cook. What's going on with that? Little bits of information, reiterating, yada, yada, yada. Maybe some teams that were thought to be interested might not be so interested. Also, guys, we're going to touch on Christian Wilkins and an ESPN list that came out with the top 10 defensive tackles in their rankings. Also, we're going to look at what some of these other defensive tackles are making around the league. Got Got a bunch of stuff. Got a little action-packed show for you. Thank you. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button and subscribing if you are new. If you are watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, come over to YouTube. Look up the Fins Tailgate. 4 words. Come on down to yonder and subscribe here on the network. Share the video, you guys. Donate to the program. Help us grow. Join the membership. Great way. Or, again, the free way, the easy way is to hit the like button, share the video, tell a friend, enjoy, get in the comments, and have a good time at the Fins Tailgate. Guys, make sure you're checking out all the great programs we are offering to you on the Fins Tailgate. Myself, El Capitan, with the Fins Tailgate show, as you know, coming at you on Sundays, coming at you during the weeks. When the season gets a popping, we gonna be a popping up in this month. You got Color and Ali early in the mornings from the hours of 6 to 8. Getting at you on your early drive time. Thank you, boys. KP coming back here directly and going to be coming out with some good here real soon. And then you guys can always find Lou and Shake with the afternoon drive time, the smoke lounge, the Shake on Saturdays. You guys know them. You love them. Getting in panels, nonsense program. Thank you. Cash App, Venmo, also ways using $, the Fins Tailgate, and Venmo, the Fins Tailgate. Other great ways to support the channel. Again, the membership. Join. You can also use super chats. We always appreciate that. But most importantly, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Know when we go live. Leave comments as the videos are over. That's another way to help out quite a bit. And make sure you guys are checking out all of our affiliates. We got Fanatics. A link is in the bio at the homepage. Use that link to let them know that we sent you. Officially licensed official gear, Fanatics. And then W Energy Drink. Our friends over at W. Get a W, get a win, get a doobie, and a W. If you need yourself that pre-workout energy, that's who you want to use. Friends over at W. Use offer code TFTG to get 10% off of your first purchase. And then also, guys, our friends always at Backroom Collections using offer code TFTG will get you 10% off with them as well. And let them know we sent you. You know, they got cool canvas artwork. Check them out. Local family, yada, yada, yada. But also, guys, as you saw in the commercial before, TFTGnetwork.com. Got good stuff for you. Check out our merch store. We got all kinds of good stuff. The fellas got a couple of things lately. We got some new gear coming out all the time. They got an Unleash the Gink shirt on there. They've got Cooking Folk. I mean, you guys know. They're all kinds of good stuff. Make sure you guys are checking out and subscribing to that. There's like a newsletter, and we're going to be having articles come out, and it's going to be great, man. We're going to bring you all kinds of awesome content. Patreon will go active with specialized videos for people that want to, find some stuff out every now and again. But yeah, guys, shout out to everybody in chat, getting in here first. Family member, show member, contributor, Lou, aka the Rabid Dolphin, right behind him, John Featherland, asking everybody to hit the like button. So get those likes up. And Shake reiterating it. Shake Money, shout out to the member, the homie, Shake. What up, Raph? What up, Duke? What up, Brian's brains of Brian's? Joe Wrist in this Jet Suck. Oh, what up, Joe? Cat for Life. What's going on, buddy? Aquavision. Hello. California, the family member. What's up? Off the top rope. Future Dolphin Card 17. Fins up. Crazy Dolphin, a.k.a. Mr. Polk. Hello. C. Hopeful, what's up, buddy? Kenna, what's going on? Mike Cantina, what is up, Mike? Salute, buddy. All right. So, got a couple of the fellas in the back. Gonna bring the boys up, and they don't know what I got. I got some stuff. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna maybe put a poll up every now and again, maybe a couple of polls tonight. Maybe one poll is already standing up pretty high. I don't know. All right. Color, Lou, Ali, fellas.
What's up? Good evening.
What up? Good evening, gentlemen.
Is going on? The poll time, baby. Yeah, Chad, what's up, fam? Yeah, I know. I'm energized, guys. I got a bunch of good stuff. I've got some content people are gonna want to watch. This is a show you might have to rewatch. I jam-packed a nice little up in this bitch. Oh, sorry, guys. Anyhow, all right. So let's start this bad mama jamma off. I've got an ESPN article. Little bit about Christian Wilkins. We're gonna get into some Dalvin Cook. Everybody wants to talk Dalvin Cook. Dalvin. Blah, blah, blah. I got it. We just hold off. Dalvin ain't going nowhere for at least 30 days. At least. We ain't gonna get on that. We're gonna get on that. ESPN top defensive tackles, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls and children of all ages. Y'all want to hear this article?
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's a quick ranking, okay? It's a rank. We're going to start with 10. Number 10, Jonathan Allen, Washington Commanders. We all know Jonathan Allen. Dude's a freaking monster. Is he not?
He is. I would say yes.
He just got paid. He's making $18 million a year this year. That's some good money. And I mean, listen, let me just pull up Jonathan Allen's stats real quick. Let's look at Jonathan Allen's stats. Pull them up. Why are you doing this to me, homie? Why you just give me 1 year of stats? Why are you doing this to me? Well, listen, last year he had 44 tackles, 2 forced fumbles, and he had 7.5 sacks, boys. 7.5 sacks.
And you said he ranks number 10 on this list?
10. He's number 10 on the list. Okay? He's number 10. It's no coincidence that Allen is coming off back-to-back Pro Bowl years. He got 7.5 sacks last year. You know how many sacks he's had in the last 2 years? 16.5.
Damn.
16.5. Back-to-back Pro Bowl. His contract extension. He signed a 4-year deal. $72 million, including a $30 million bonus, signing bonus. And guess how much is guaranteed, though?
How much is that?
35.65, whatever. His average comes out to only $18 million a year. That's a pretty good deal for a guy who's gotten 16.5 sacks in the last 2 years on back-to-back Pro Bowls.
Yeah, I would say they got a deal. Yeah.
So you're saying that 35 and whatever was guaranteed, and he got $30 million bonus up front for signing the contract. So he got most of his guaranteed up front, is what you're saying?
Let's see how this works. I don't know. Maybe it's $65 million is the total guarantee. Let's see. Signing bonus is that guaranteed at signing. Total guarantees. No, his total guarantees is $35 million.
Yeah, that's so the 35 point something whatever million is what he's left owed.
That's his total guarantees. He's not guaranteed $65 million. He's only guaranteed 35 and a half of his fucking $72 million contract. But guess what? This guy is he's gonna hit some bonuses and he continues doing what he's doing. Back-to-back Pro Bowls, 7.5 sacks last year, 9.5 the year before. Continue, Ali.
I was just saying that deal sounds pretty good for the team if they're giving his guarantee up front like that. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if that's the case, then that's a hell of a deal.
It's an amazing deal. Amazing team-friendly deal. It's only $72 million. We know defensive tackles of this caliber to get $100 million contracts, do we not?
I would say yes, absolutely. So, but let me get this right. So he got 30 at signing, but he still owed 35 million. So over the 4 years, that's what really he's making, 35 million. Right?
He's making that's right. That's right. He's making 35 million over the next 4 years. Now they've spread out the dead cap, but they gave him 30 million of it up front. His incentives are predicated on game start, bonuses, stuff like that. He's getting a certain amount each year for like workout bonuses and stuff, and that's where that next 5 million comes in. But then he has incentive base for the remaining $72 million, which is more than half. So a $72 million contract, he's getting like 47%, 45% of it guaranteed. And the rest are all incentive based. But this guy is good. Like I said, he's got a 2-time Pro Bowl. He's been in back-to-back top 10 rankings the last 2 years. He's been low-key, super good. And for a guy who got 7.5 sacks last year and 9.5 the year before, he was second highest and being doubled in pass rushing situations, getting doubled 67% of the time. So it's not like this guy's getting single teams and beating the gap. No, he's getting doubled and manhandling his way to 7.5 and 9.5 sacks the last 2 seasons. And this guy is number fucking 10 on this list, and he's only making 18 million a year, and he only got guaranteed 35 mil. These are the facts, ladies and gentlemen. Continue.
Well, let me ask you this, Kat.
Yes.
Because, and this is where I always go to. So if it's 35 million guaranteed, that's really what he's owed left, in my opinion. So that 18 million is adding, like, if he was going to get the 72, what would be 4 years at 35 million? Because I think that's what he's really making per season, if you break it down, right? Or am I wrong?
Well, let me pull up the paper here. Let's see what we got here.
Because if it's 4 years at 35 million guaranteed, that's less than 10 million a year.
So his contract terms says right here, Jonathan Allen has signed a 4-year, $72 million contract with the Washington Redskins, includes a $30 million sign-in bonus, 35.64235 guaranteed on an average annual salary of 18 mil a year. In 2023, Allen will earn a base salary of $14 million and a workout bonus of $500, while carrying the cap hit of $21.44 million. So they gave him that amount of money up front, but they giving them at the sign-in bonus, they get to choose where the rest of the remainder of the money and where and how it hits. So his yearly dead cap will be $20.5 million this year. It'll be $12 million next year, and it'll be $6 million in 2025.
Okay.
And this is a 4-year extension, which I want to say, I don't know the details of how that worked. Anyhow, but simply put, when we're talking and thinking about the money that we got going on here, and Dolphins Realtor is saying that, shoot, Allen isn't more productive than Wilkins. Okay. He's 10 on this list. So we'll see where Wilkins ranks. Again, remember, 7.5 sacks, and Allen was double teamed 70 or 67% of pass rush. He was double teamed on pass rush. So the only guy to get it more than him was Daquan Jones from the Bills. That's who was number 1. So let's move on to the next name on this list. Okay. Oh, and just for clarity, he's 28 years old. Number 9 on the list, Cam Hayward, Pittsburgh Steelers. So Cam Hayward, at 34 years old, still is number 9 on the ESPN DT rankings list. How do you guys feel about Cam Hayward being on this list?
I mean, I still hear his name called every year, you know, every Pittsburgh game I come across.
He's an older guy, though, right?
He's
34.
Yeah.
Mid-30, yeah.
But, I mean, look how long they got what's-his-name to last out over there, you know? Was it Washington? James Washington?
Oh,
Or
yeah,
James,
dude. That guy played James Harrison. He lasted till fucking 39 years old, and he was like the friggin'
and he was still pumping sack after sack, you know what I mean?
Oh, no. Well, they only used him for situational sacks up in this.
Yeah, and he could take the edge like no problem when he was fresh, you know?
Yeah. I want to hear his numbers. What was Casey? It's going to be odd to see what his numbers were, how productive Casey Hayward was.
So to get now, remember what I just said for what's his name's numbers, Allen.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's number 9 on this list. Cam Hayward racked up 74 tackles. 39 of them are solo. 10.5 sacks.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
10.5 sacks. Along with 4 passes defended, a forced fumble, and a fumble recovery, and appeared in all 17 games last year. At 34 years old, my man is still a game-wrecking force as a defensive tackle. I mean, Buddy, Joe Rist, Buddy hit a big bonus. I mean, Buddy got over 10 sacks. You know damn well he got some bonus money up in that mug.
This list ain't doing Christian Wilkins no justice so far.
So just to be clear, Cam Hayward with his 10.5 sacks isn't even a top 10 paid defensive tackle in the league right now, just so we know.
Wow.
And I have that list coming up next after this list, the top 10 paid defensive tackles.
You know, Lewis, we privately, we just had a conversation about another gentleman that we'll be talking about probably tonight and tomorrow, more than likely. And I said Miami should stick to their guns. I'm going to tell you again, Miami should stick to their guns. Just hearing the stuff that you guys are saying.
I mean, again, Ali, you know what we've been saying. I've been saying it for the past 2 weeks already. So I'm on board with that. I agree.
My toilet sources also showed me an article that said that, you know, I forget what site it was from. Could be a completely delegitimate site. I don't know. But it was just somebody's article about the top, what was it? Most underrated defensive players. And,
most underrated defensive players?
Yeah. And Zach Sealer was ours, according to
Really?
Yeah.
Well, this guy sounds like a smart gentleman, if I do say so myself. So let's continue a little bit on the delving in on the Cam Hayward. Again, he pumped out 10.5 sacks. He's one of 4 NFL defensive players to make 6 consecutive Pro Bowls. Pro Bowler last year, obviously. A guy that is defying age, that has used the wisdom of the position to still do and have effectiveness, dude. The guy is fucking good. You ready to hear who's next on this list?
Go for it.
So I think a good reason why the money that was so good for Jonathan Allen as far as the team is because he gets to play next to another amazing defensive tackle, which is smart for the Commanders as they're in a position in the NFC where up the gut running with those running backs is very important. Up the gut pass rushing is very important. It's just the centerpiece, the way they run that in the NFC over there. Darren Payne of the Washington Commanders ranks at number 8 on this. Any words? Like, who the fuck is Darren Payne? Am I right?
I mean, he's been productive. He's just, I think more so is because it's the Washington Commanders. I don't think a lot of those players get noticed, but what are his numbers? How productive was he?
Well, he's been very productive in his, early in his career as far as tackles and everything like that goes. But he had a jump in 2021. But 2022, buddy, earned himself the payday. Okay. He had, hold on, let's see. His total tackles were 64 total tackles, 32 of them being solo. He also had 32 assists. Buddy had 11 and a half sacks last year. 11 and a half sacks. He disrupted 21.5 dropbacks. A combination of sacks, interceptions, batted tips, defended passes, ranked second amongst all defensive tackles behind Jones. And he tied for seventh among all positions. His 11 and a half sacks earned him a mega deal of a $90 million extension.
My goodness.
It's an 11 and a half sacks on the interior, guys.
Wow.
Where if you're getting up and creating disruption like this, you're really killing it. Color, we got some feedback coming off you, buddy.
I'm sorry, bro.
He had one forced fumble. He defended 5 passes. I mean, buddy was all over the place. He had 8 tackles for loss, resulting in a loss of 14 yards. Buddy has done pretty good. And up to that point, he was already getting good penetration, having the past 2 previous seasons, 7 each year in tackle for losses, just stuffing it up the gut. So the guy has got penetration, worked on his pass rush penetration, and even took it to the next level. And it earned him a mega deal. He is powerful. He is explosive. And the Commanders like that duo. So, what do you think?
Well, for me, we're seeing why these guys are getting paid and Christian Wilkins is not. Bro, Christian Wilkins can't compare even to these first 3, the top 8 or whatever. Bro, he's not comparing in no numbers. I think Cap for Life was down there. He just said it. So all these guys got stats while Wilkins has pressures is what I'm hearing. And I agree. Like Christian Wilkins, okay, he's good against the run. But, bro, you got guys getting double-digit sacks. Like you said, Cap, from the interior. I mean, just think what we already have on the outside with Phillips. Hopefully Bradley Chubb takes another step. If we could be getting that kind of production from Wilkins, now you're cooking with grease with this defense. But I'm sorry, Christian
reckon
Wilkins, bro, Christian Wilkins just ain't that guy, bro. Let's be honest. But
So he is out of that $90 million contract, $60 million of it is guaranteed. He's having an average cap hit of $22.5 million per year. That's what a guy gets, a young, budding talent guy who in the past few years has had tackles for loss, has had big time, fumbles. He's had an interception, but now with that, he put it to 11 and a half sacks, and he's a young guy that looks like he's not slowing down. Dude, 6'3", 320. I mean, he was drafted in the first round of 2018. You know what I'm saying? Alabama guy. Oh, Shake, what up, bud? What you doing, Shake? Pop up.
What's up?
Here, fool? We in it. We in it to win it.
By the
Shake.
way, Capitan, if you check the private chat, I found the link to that article. It was, in fact, a decent source. It was PFF.
Ooh.
And they have each team's most underrated defensive player I haven't actually read their comments on Zach Sealer, but their choice for us is Zach Sealer. And, you know, being that it's PFF, if you're one of those people that believes in it, cool. If you're one of those people that admits they're subjective but still believes in it, cool, even more. If you're one of those people that believes it's payola, well, then there could be interest in Miami having PFF prop up Zach Sealer. So either way you look at it, it's kind of interesting.
Listen, it's just another tool along other tools. Take it for what you will. There's, you know, I would say PFF is more towards what is agreeable than disagreeable. But it's also a living document with how they rank things. So I think as its algorithm sharpens, it could be pretty darn useful and also very misleading.
Well, again, the thing of it is, Capitan, it's just like a computer benchmark. Okay? It's okay to use a faulty program that's giving you incorrect numbers for your benchmark, as long as after you make the change to your computer, you're using the same benchmarking program, because all you care about is the difference. And so if you're measuring against their own stuff year over year, then it can be, you can garner information from it, valid, objective information. So I don't besmirch them. I was just saying, even if you think they're payola, which they have kind of owned up to over the years, then it makes even more sense that they're propping up Zach Sealer. You know what I mean?
All right, so let's go over the rest of, just to close the page on the Darren Payne. His contract is a $90 million 4-year extension. It includes a $28 million signing bonus, and he has $59 million in guarantees, so it's just shy of $60 million. And it'll be a cap hit of $22.5 million on average over the next 4 years, how they have the money spread around. Now, because they gave him a bunch, they're going to carry $55 million in dead cap. Or excuse me, they're really getting hit with some dead cap. His cap hit this year's only $8.6 million. Next year it's $21 million. The following year it's 26, and the following year after that it goes to 28. So they're even going to carry some dead cap in 27 because of his contract details. This is the type of contract that I think Christian Wilkins wants, and the type of money he wants. And look at how it is. It is a significant amount of number. This is the money that I think Christian Wilkins desires. And if we're looking at, man, shake that looks good on you, buddy.
Speaking of cap, appreciate you,
boy. That shit looks good. Hold on, let's get Shake on a solo. Take a gander at that.
It
bad
does
boy.
look good.
Let's see it. Boom. Let me see that.
There you
Batman
go, Shake.
Yeah, boy. That shit look clean. Yeah, boy. Yeah, boy.
Look good,
All right, hold on. Let's get this back. So yeah,
Oh,
this
by
is
the way,
the type of. Yeah.
I don't know if it had anything to do with wearing my hat today.
Yeah.
But I was at the grocery store and I had a little mishap at the register, right? And I had to fix some stuff between accounts. But while I was doing that, while my stuff was on hold, somebody in line paid for my bill.
What?
Yeah. So when I got back to the register, the clerk was handing me the receipt. I'm like, well, who did this? And she's like, anonymous.
Really?
I'm like, you're kidding me. First of all, that proves that paying it forward does come back on you. Okay, because I've paid it forward before.
This.
You know. And secondly, shout out to whoever did that. If you're listening, man, that really thank you very much. That you know,
Finn's
that's something that's never happened to me before.
Look at that. You want to hear a funny story real quick? I was trying to be charitable one time. There was a cop behind me, and this was when people were hating cops at all-time peak. And I was like, you know what? I said to the register up there, I was like, you know what? I'm going to pay for the cop behind me and shit like that. I was whatever. Anyhow, it was at Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A goes, no, we're not going to let you do that. We're going to pay for it and yours. And I was like, well, touche, Chick-fil-A. And my bill was like $75. I had like 4 kids at the
That's
house
funny.
or something. I was like, touche, Chick-fil-A. All right, cool. So that was crazy.
Yeah.
Anywho, so yeah, the Darren Payne type of contract, the type of money we're talking, the $59 million guaranteed, that's the type of money I think Christian Wilkins wants. And to me right now, that I don't think the Dolphins aren't in any position to give him that money. That I got to be honest, I don't feel like he's worth that money. I think Christian Wilkins is saying to himself, or at least the Dolphins and his party and everything are going to look, come out this year, give me 11.5 sacks and 74 tackles in this defense. And you know what? You will get $60 million guaranteed. You'll get $65 million guaranteed. I think that's what they're that's what they're talking about. So
let me ask this question. So the $59 million guaranteed, how much does that come out per year? Like, what's the average salary per year?
So average salary, his salary 2023 will be 8.6. 2024 will be 21.6. 2025, 26.2. 2026, 28 million. These are the cap hit numbers. And even when they don't carry his contract because of the money and bonuses they're paying up front, and this is what people don't understand about the cap. He will not be under contract in 2027, but his cap hit will still hurt the team $5.6 million because of how they had to move money around. Just so people understand, the money gets paid. It's coming at some point. So when you give so-and-so a $4 million extension or 4-year extension on top of his 5th year, that's a 5-year contract that, yeah, I can pay $4 million this year, but my next 3 years are going to be 20, 22, 26, 29, and 40, and then they're fucking $10 million over. You know what I'm saying? You guys got to understand this shit. You're talking about in these years, you got a player making $28 million a year on your roster. You're going to sign 3 or 4 other young studs, one of them being a fucking quarterback. All right. I didn't want to get like that. Look at y'all made me. And this guy on this list with his stats that I already went over, his 11.5 sacks, he's only number 8 on this list.
Jesus Christ.
Let me ask you this. So, and everybody on the panel can answer this. Let's say hypothetically, and it's been rumored that Christian Wilkins wants 22 to 23 million a season, right? If we don't give it to him, do you think another team would?
On the free agent market, here's something I always try to say when someone asks, do you think someone will pay a talented player the big time money? And I learned this by being a Dolphins fan. And for you younger Dolphins fans, hear me now. Okay? Do not underestimate the desperation of a franchise when purchasing on the free agent pool. Meaning, there is people that are desperate to lose their jobs, fans that are desperate to have anything to believe in. You will pay Christian Wilkins $100 million with $75 million guaranteed and be happy to have him if you're a part of a team that has you completely cucked and has you believing that a defensive tackle is going to come in here and save the franchise. I know because I saw this happen to us.
Right, and I don't know if they have the money for it, but the Atlanta Falcons would be a perfect example of this type of team right now.
Well, the reason I'm asking these questions because so far, based on what you're telling me, the difference between Christian Wilkins and some of these players you've mentioned are the sacks. And if he's not getting the sacks, then like, should the Miami even pay him if they're not going to pay him for the sacks the same way? I mean, you know what I'm saying? That's why I ask these questions. But I guess you're right. There's always going to be that one team that that does something. So you agree.
Well, they're probably also. I'm sorry, Luis. They're probably also waiting on the bookkeeper, the number crunchers to finish their projections on what a depth piece is going to be worth 2 or 3 years from now. Because any other team, if you're talking about these teams that already have these 10 players that we're talking about, he could only be an addition to that. He could only be a depth piece on a team like that. You know what I mean? Go ahead, Liz.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but the other thing of this, if you actually think about it, is that with Christian Wilkins, it could come down to the fact that maybe where Chris Greer wants his out to be, because all the signings he's done, it's 2 to 3 years, and then he can get out. Every single one of them. You know what I mean? What if he's not agreeing to the out that, maybe that's the issue. They don't have the out yet. Oh, shit.
What happened?
I mean, I don't know.
I heard his illegal. Oh shit!
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems like the way they're trying to drive all these positions down. Seems like there's some kind of a little bit of concern as to whether the
numbers make sense.
Right, but I'm wondering if the teams at large are projecting a slowdown in the salary cap inflation.
I wonder if. Listen, I'll tell you what I think, Color, and I'll go conspiracy on you, and then I want to throw it to Lou. When I see people trying to drive down numbers like billionaires of football teams, I wonder if they're preparing themselves for some form of geopolitical recession coming around to yonder. Them motherfuckers.
Well, that's what would inherently cause the salary cap inflation to halt. Is people not buying jerseys and tickets and whatever else, and when there's stuff like that going on,
that ain't doing it.
But when there's stuff like that going on, people are less likely to spend on that kind of stuff, man.
We're buying all this shit, forest through the trees. The billionaires start tightening their wallets first because they're like, ooh, something's coming. They know before us. Go ahead.
Right, but that too. But I'm saying even then that affects the salary cap because our disposable income goes down. You know what I mean? Like the cap is also inflated by all the other sales too, tickets, jerseys, all that stuff. That's why they all profit share, because it increases the overall salary cap.
Yeah, I just wanted to go back. I just wanted to go back to Ali's question. His original question, though, is there an outside team that would pay Christian Wilkins? I would say
trade?
Yes.
Yep.
No,
pay him.
Pay him as like a free agent if he left. I would say yes, but I think it would, like Color hit on Atlanta. I would say another team like Carolina, a young and up in Houston Texans, right? A young and up and coming team that had a rookie quarterback that was trying. They had some nice pieces, but they were trying to come up, right? That's where Christian Wilkins could get that kind of bag. But I think where this list is going to start taking us, the money Christian Wilkins asking in Miami, it just doesn't work because we have guys like Tua, like Waddle, like Holland, and a bunch of other guys that need to get paid. You see what I'm saying? Where Christian Wilkins' big problem here in Miami, and this is just my opinion, it's wrong place, wrong time, right? That's really what it is. Is Christian Wilkins worth losing a Tua or Holland or Waddle or Phillips, those kind of guys? I would say no. So yes, to answer Ali's question for me, I do think Christian Wilkins could get the money, but it would have to be on a team with a rookie quarterback, maybe a rookie receiver, a first-year guy, and they feel like he can come in and add a little something.
Yeah, that's what I could see. A team that I don't want to say is in desperation, but a team that needs an identity on defense, has made a change with an owner or a GM or a coach or something. He's that big ticket item that here's a staple in our defense that's gonna be the identity, and here's our centerpiece. We're building around this guy, and that again, that's exactly my point. That was my whole point about like the sell of something. He has to be packaged for that type of money. For 25 mil. Now, could he be packaged to us? Listen, I'm going to tell you his numbers come the end of this list because he's got some damn good numbers too. He don't have the sacks, but his numbers are pretty good. Real quick, though, I want to shout out to everybody who's making it in chat. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button. I see Los Fanaticos made it through. and Roger Goodell's burner and Liz. What's up, Liz? And I see CB83's in chat. He said something funny. I'll get to it in a second. But Rod Uncensored, what's up? Who else did I see? B McD. Where was it? Mountie was in this. Crypto coming up in here. Molly Mall, what's good, my buddy? Dolphins realtor, but look what CB said. Ronnie came in here too. What's up, Ronnie? He goes, Cap, I just wanted y'all to know I was having a full-on conversation in chat by my damn self until I realized that I was blocked. I couldn't see my comments in chat. That's funny shit, dude. He had told Shake that one of the mods clipped him, and I talked to him on his channel the other day about it, and I was like, yeah, we'll get it straightened out. But I didn't realize that was going on. You're sitting there typing to nobody and shit. That's funny, dude.
Well, CB should definitely be used to conversating with nobody. I mean, it's not a surprise. I mean, that's not coming off as a surprise. You know what I'm saying? Let's be honest.
Yeah, I'm assuming Pocket or something, but I checked the list, and sure enough, CB83 was right there smack in the middle between all the Russian sex bots.
Yeah, I called Color, and I was like, Color, check and see if he got clipped. He got clipped. He's right. Yeah, there's probably a lot of those on there.
He got sandwiched by a bunch of Russian sex bots. Damn.
Yeah, I was scrolling down the list. I'm like, XXXXXXXX, CB83, XXXXX. I'm like, well, there it is.
Sandwiched by a bunch of sex robots, dude. Nah, man.
Hey, it's all in fun, CB. Look, CB trying to out me already. I talk to Lou a lot. It's okay, CB. Don't get in your feelings. You're good with me, bro. Don't worry.
Actually, that'll be a good rock. That'll be a good rock album.
CB83 and the Sex Robots. I'll watch that show right now. Dude. That sounds like a
good band name. To be
honest, sounds like CB83 and the Sex Robots performing at the Kravitz Center.
Total like Cure style progressive punk band, CB83 and the Sex Robots.
Yeah, there's a guy with a keytar and shit. You know what I'm saying? They're really getting and laser shows. Lots of you know, it's a good show.
And that's the name of the album, Sandwiched in Between Sex Robots.
That's right, sandwiched in between sex robots. Yep, and there's some magic, some doves. It's a whole performance.
I got a more concise name for the album sake. Android Sandwich.
Gross.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But no, let me ask you this.
No. Oh, go ahead, Jake. Go ahead.
See, I was listening to Ali talk about how he always has an out, like after the third year.
Yeah. Sorry, my phone had died, guys. I apologize. Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And one thing I was thinking about too, and I think that's smart because he goes, so let's say he gives him a 5 year and he has an out by 3 year. The guy is still balling. He goes, hey, I tell you what, let's reconstruct your contract so I could give you some more guarantee at the end of your 2 years, so you can have some guarantees. If we restructure for you, we have if you know what I'm saying. If you're willing to restructure, we'll give you some more guarantee. That way, he could keep the player that's balling and make some room in the cap.
That's right. Or if they're kind of at the same and there's that, they can continue on with the final year of the contract. No, Chris Greer and what's his name? Sweeney, is that the guy's name?
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Staley, is that his name?
Sweeney, I think it is.
Is it Sweeney or Brandon Staley? I don't know. It seems like there's anyhow.
No, Sweeney's the wide receiver. Brandon Shore.
Shore. Okay. Brandon Shore. God, man. Anyhow, yes. He's doing quiet work with the numbers. He got the little punchy McPunchenstein back there. So yeah, dude, I'm about all that life, what they do with the contracts, but that's something to keep in mind. But that was only what player was that? 8? Darren Payne?
That was 8.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go to number 7 on the list. Number 7 on ESPN's top 10 defensive tackles in the NFL today. DeForest Buckner, Indianapolis Colts. Last year, he was ranked 9th. He's been ranked as high as 3 on this list. Or excuse me. Last year, he was ranked 4th. The lowest he's ever come on the list since coming into the league has been 9. And he's been all the way up at 10. Now, DeForest Buckner getting on this list has just because he's been fairly consistent. What do you guys think about Buckner? First of all, I wanted to draft that guy.
I don't really have an eye test on him myself.
He went so much higher than I thought he was going to in the 2016 draft, being picked at 7 by the Colts. I thought for sure he was going to be there within striking distance for us in that draft. I like a guy, his size, his length. He's what we all hoped.
You mean San Francisco because he got traded to the Colts?
That's right. He's what we all had hoped he would be. We could get in a gym out of Raekwon Davis. The dude is 6'7", 295 pounds. He's a freaking monster, bro. He's a monster. So let's see. Let me find his stats. Okay, so last year he played 17 games. He started 16 of them. Where the hell's his numbers at? I'm gonna put you on mute, Shake, so I can concentrate. Let's see. Okay, so Buckner is one of the most consistent performers amongst defensive tackles ranking since 2020. Before this year, he never finished lower than 4th. He averaged 8.8 sacks per season since 2008. He's been a force around this bad mamma jamma forever. He just continues to put out this same sort of consistent numbers. Let me find his freaking stats of 2022. Where the heck is it? Here we go. He had 64 tackles last year. He had 34 of them solo, 30 assists. He had 3 passes defended, and he had 8 sacks. But that's along his illustrious career, meaning that, he's averaging these numbers. 8 sacks. He had 7 sacks last year, 9.5 the year before, 7.5 the year before that. When he was in San Francisco before he got traded, in 2018, he had 12 sacks. He has been, since they traded for him and paid him the big money that he got, he has just consistently been the guy that they have hoped for him. His 4-year extension, that was $84 million with $44 million guaranteed, meaning he had $40 million in bonuses that they trade when they traded for when the Colts traded him from San Francisco in 2020. His cap hit, this is his last year under contract right now. He's going to earn $17.25 million. And, the guy has been consistent. He's averaging around 60-something tackles a year, around 30 solo tackles a year, around 8.5 sacks every year. Mm-hmm. He's got a couple of, he's got some safeties. He's got pass defense. He defends at least 3 passes a year. Right now, he has a total of 53 sacks. 20 passes defended, and he's been doing it since 2016. This was a guy that this is Christian Wilkins' counterpart. So I might even save these stats because this is a guy who got the money again that I think Christian Wilkins is desiring, an $80 million deal, a $70 million deal. He's looking at a guy he came into the draft with and looking at the numbers. I'm going to save this little graphic here.
How old is DeForest Buckner? How old is he?
They're just same age as Christian Wilkins.
Okay. This is going to be a broken take. I'm going to give you guys.
Hold on a second. That's not true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So no, he's been in the league 7 years. My fault.
So how do we know how old he is? What is age?
Probably like 29, 30, somewhere around there.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find it.
Okay.
He's 29. Yep, he's 29.
Was he with 49ers when Vic Fangio was there?
Ooh.
You know what? I don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
Either.
If he was, because I've been recorded on this show and, all TFTG shows saying that this could be the sign that, Miami's reevaluating their defensive line and what type of defensive linemen, specifically tackles, they want to run their defense, and I've stated maybe it's going to look more like the Colts, who generally have smaller linemen, but faster and stronger at the same time. And it just so happens, you said he's on the last year of his contract, and it's possible, which I'll have to go back and check it, but it doesn't sound like it. I was thinking that if he played under Fangio, maybe that's why
Fangio was there in
money.
2011. That was a long time ago, but it is the
Okay.
Fangio scheme ever since he's been there. So
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why they're holding on to the money. Maybe there are other guys that they like that are more prototypes to what they think their defense needs, and it's not Christian Wilkins, and that's why they don't want to give him all the money.
Well, I think maybe they
want.
believe Christian Wilkins can be in a Fangio effective type of defense, but he's got to prove it. I know Dolphin fans, I hear it all the time. Pay Christian Wilkins, we can move the money around. Pay Christian Wilkins, it won't matter now, it'll matter later. Again, the Colts are going to carry $2.5 million after he's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not interested in carrying dead money like that. And they're paying this guy $22.7 million in his last year. That's next year. There's things to think about. When you pay a guy a bonus, that dead cap gets spread out. So if you're not going to count it against your cap this year, it's because you're going to split it between other years. It's how you can give a guy a $50 million signing bonus. Anyhow, let's see. But DeForest Buckner is on this list at number 7 because he has been a staple in this. And in a year when he might have dropped off on a reeling Indianapolis Colts team that at times probably didn't have a lot to play for, he still did good. And just for an understanding of the kind of money he's making on average per year, he's tied for 5th on this list of top 10 highest paid guys, and he's making an average of $21 million a year. So a guy with those types of numbers, the DeForest Buckner numbers, which are an average of 8.5 sacks a year, an average of 60 tackles a year, an average of 30 solo tackles a year, and an average of 30 assists a year, with 3 passes defended a year. Those type of numbers have earned him $21 million a year. So let's continue on the list. Number 6 on this list, Dexter Lawrence, New York Giants. Dexter Lawrence is young, 25 years old. 25 years old. He has ranked high on this list before in a previous year, not last year, as high as 4 on this list. Him playing like this got him a $90 million extension. Holy shit. This is the guy that's fucking it up for us. Let's see what Dexter Lawrence's numbers.
Yeah, I don't think his tackles were high, but I believe he did have like 7.5 sacks, I believe.
Well, he got injured last year.
He didn't play at all last year?
Let me see here. Oh, no, my fault. No, let me see. Why does this keep popping up? Okay, here we go. So last year, Dexter Lawrence, he had 7.5 sacks, and he helped the Giants big time in the playoffs. In May, it landed him a 4-year extension, $90 million on that extension. He's a dominant run stuffer, but he also picks up some sacks. His regular season stats last year were he got 68 tackles, total tackles, 35 solo, 30 assists, 7.5 sacks. He had 2 forced fumbles. And then in the postseason game that they had, he had 12 fucking tackles in that game. Boy went off.
What were his 2021 stats?
So hold on, I'll get it for you in a second.
Sure.
So his 2021 stats were 54 tackles, 27 solo, 27 assists. He had 2.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, and 6.5 tackles for loss. But his 2020 stats were 53 tackles, total tackles, 30 solo, 23 assists, 4 sacks, and he had 2 passes defended and 4 tackles for loss.
So
And
it
then
was really only the last season that he had like 7.5 sacks, you said, right?
Well, here his rookie season, he had 2.5 sacks. His total sacks in the last 4 years is 16.5 sacks. He's 25 years old, so he's a young guy too. He came
Okay,
into
I'm
the
just
league-
curious. I'm just wondering if maybe this is one of Dayball's foundational pieces that he's making sure he's been paid and taken care of because it's a foundation piece. You know, he's going to build the defense off of him, maybe something like that. That's
Well,
why
let's
I'm
look
kind
at-
of curious.
Let's look into his contract details and see what kind of money we're talking here. So listen to the money. Now we hear a $90 million extension, and we're like, holy shit. You know what I'm saying? But he's also he's going to get a good amount of that money. It's actually a 4-year, $87.5 million extension, which included a $22 million signing bonus. $60 million of that $87 million is guaranteed. His average cap hit ties for Darren Payne at third with $22.5 million a year. Darren Payne, a little bit older. This guy, 25 years old. So if you're looking at a Darren Payne and what he had in his stats and the money he's making, Darren Payne is a year older than him. But Dexter, you know, I mean, this is what guys that are hitting these sack numbers kind of look like. 22, damn, dude. See, that's big money, boys. That's big monies. That's big, big money.
Yeah, I mean, listen.
Darren Payne got 11.5 sacks last year, son.
Mm-hmm. And what is he, 5, you said?
Darren Payne was eighth on the list. Dexter is what number is it? Yeah, he's 6 on the list.
Listen, all these guys are pushing $20+ million, and I just don't see a way where that happens for Christian Wilkins. I don't. I really don't.
All right,
and
well, let's
even,
go. Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Kat.
Even if what?
I was gonna say, you know, there's been people that, and there was a beat reporter for the Rams that hopped in one of the Twitter spaces the other day, and they were saying that the Rams, depending on how the season starts, by the trade deadline, they could be just offing people. And so the question popped up in the Twitter space: give Christian Wilkins 22, 23, 24 million, or let's say Dolphins are 5-1, 6-1 going into the deadline, and Aaron Donald becomes available. I mean, Aaron Donald is at 25 million? So if we're paying Christian Wilkins 22, 23, would anybody have a problem trading for Aaron Donald at 25? Because then again, Aaron Donald is up and down that D-line. Wherever you want him. Plays inside, plays outside. Now, I know he's a little bit older, and we're talking about the money, but again, we're talking about Aaron Donald. So,
well, we'll see where Aaron Donald ranks on this list, because I'm sure that's going to be an interesting little tidbit to exactly what we're looking at on all this. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Lewis is not wrong either. If you read any reports lately or, been paying attention to ESPN or even NFL, they've reported that the Rams were shopping Matt Stafford, their quarterback that they gave an extension to, gave money to. And the reality
it's
is
come out that they're very open to moving off of Aaron Donald for the right type of deal.
yeah, the reality is they're
Mm.
that team that's going to have a fire sale like at any moment, and they're just going to burn it all the way to the ground and restart fresh. That's what they're going to do. So that's why I don't think we're in a rush to sign anybody, to be honest, because of that fact.
The Rams players that are going to still be worth their salt. Some are going to go and get money at some teams. Others are going to jump to the next team to get a ring. This could really change the outlook. But let's go ahead and move on to the fifth guy on the list. Fifth guy on the list, Javon Hargrave, San Francisco 49ers. This is a guy who was picked in the 3rd round 7 years ago.
Mm-hmm. He had a monster season for the Eagles.
So he had 11 sacks, 37 solo, and 1 forced fumble. He also had 60 total tackles, 2 passes defended as well. He also had another pass defended in the postseason. He also had a sack in the postseason. He had 9 tackles, 6 of them were solo, 3 assists in the postseason. He's got postseason success. You want big money, you show it in the postseason on the big stage. People have a hard time not paying you. That's why players want to be on teams that are on that big stage, because they know it. You show up and show out in a game that matters like that, people love you. They're like, pay that man right now. So let's see. Big time Eagles contributor, as you guys know. Let me see if I can find his stats, his career stats. All right. So originally on Pittsburgh, we all know how that Pittsburgh defense is. Played 4 years with Pittsburgh, 3 years with the Eagles, and now got a big mega deal from the Niners at 30 years old too. Listen to this. He signed a 4-year, $84 million deal with the San Francisco 49ers. 23 of it in signing bonuses. But listen to this. $40 million guaranteed. That's signing this guy into 34 years old. And the Niners, you guys know how the Niners, our coach comes from that system and everything like that. But listen to how they maneuvered the money on this one, because they're going to carry dead cap for, even though they only have them from contract through 2023 to 2026, they're going to carry dead cap in 2027 and 2028 from this guy's contract. That's how they've done this. You see how teams can do it? The Dolphins can do this. We can do that. And signing some of these guys. So understand that if you gave Christian Wilkins a contract like this is something that could be done. Carrying dead cap in years that he's not going to be around, and you can figure out how to maneuver it. And those are probably rebuilding years, whatever. We need to make sure we got that team first, but you know what I'm saying? I feel like we got that team, but that's yet to be seen. Anyhow, his cap hit this year is only $6.6 million, even though they're giving him $23 million at a signing bonus. Next year, it's $15 million. 2025, it's $26 million. That guy will be 33 years old. They're going to be paying him $26 million. 2026, he'll be 34. They'll be paying him $28.3 million. This is what when I say that you sign Christian Wilkins and you get him only $10 million this year and $12 million next year, you're going to be paying him $30 million one day. This guy's only getting $40 million guaranteed. Look how they're having to maneuver the money around. They won't have him on the team in 2027, and he's going to cost them $7 million. They won't have him on the team in 2028, and it'll cost them $1.2 million to not have him there. They're going to carry $8.2 million in dead cap for 2 years after this guy is gone. This is the type of stuff I'm trying to educate people on, because they seem to not understand when it comes to paying people and how it works. I'm not saying you can't pay them. You can pay everybody. You just got paid a piper one day. So Hargraves, he's had, early on in his Pittsburgh career, he had 2 sacks his first 2 seasons. His third season, he had 6.5 sacks. His fourth season, he had 4 sacks. When he went to the Eagles, his first year there, which was, in 2020, which was, their rebuilding year. That's when they drafted Jalen and all that stuff. He had 4.5 sacks that year. Then he followed it up in 2021 with 7.5 sacks. He followed it up again last year with 11 sacks. That's how and why he got the bag. Maintaining the past 2 seasons, 60 plus total tackles, around 30 solo tackles, around 35 assists, getting a forced fumble in back-to-back years. He recovered 2 fumbles last year. And he has some pass defense in his, he's not really a big-time pass defender, but some tackles for losses. I mean, the guy is just filling up the stat sheet. That's how he made the money. And when you're looking at his contract into his contemporaries, let me see where he's also tied for 5th with DeForest Buckner at $21 million. So just to give you an idea. Number 4 on this list, Quentin Williams from the New York Jets. Quentin Williams has had a little bit different of a career. He looks like probably one of the most dominant type of guys, and then other times he's had injury. What do you guys think of Quentin Williams?
I mean, he's a little too hurt. Yeah, he's a little too hurt, for my opinion. But I mean, he's good.
A little overrated.
He's good when he's on the field. But I mean, yeah, if you want to, I wouldn't say overrated. I just think he just.
I think the term is injury prone.
Yeah, he's just injury prone.
He's productive when he's on the field, but off the field, it's just an issue. But I think he's one of those guys that's looking for a big payday. Also, I don't, at this point with where our team is at, we need guys that want to win, and sometimes that means taking a fair deal or a little bit less of a fair deal. And I think Miami knows that. I think they know they have needs that they have to fill, and so I see where all this money is going, Chris. I see where this is taking us.
So he didn't get his contract yet.
No,
he's playing on his 5th year.
He's playing on his 5th year as well. Yep.
This is a guy who is an exact contemporary of Christian Wilkins. And let me go into his stats real quick. Last year was a good year for him. His rookie season, he only played 13 games. A little nicked up. He had 28 tackles, 15 solo, 13 assists. He did get 2.5 sacks and 1 pass defense. He followed that up the next year with another 13-game season, but had a much improved output in production. 53 tackles in 13 games, which is crazy. 30 solo, 23 assists. He had 3 passes defended, but the man had 7 sacks in 13 games. That's huge coming from a defensive tackle. That's the type of projections where you can go, damn, this guy could probably have 10 sacks. 2021, little bit of a down year. He had 40. He played 15 games, was healthier, but the team was going through some changes at that point, as you guys know, with the Jets in 2021. That was the whatchamacallit year, Zach Wilson rookie year. He had 47 total tackles, 30 of them solo, 17 assists, 3
20
passes.
of them on us. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I know. 3 passes defended, but he still maintained to get 6 sacks. Now, last year, a year in which I'm sure he did everything he could to say, hey, I want a contract extension. Now, meanwhile, he's playing on his 5th-year option. He played 16 games last year. He had 51 total tackles, 31 of them solo, 20 assists. He had 4 passes defended, and the man got 12 sacks. 12 sacks. That's why he's number 4 on this list. That's a guy.
That's a guy. I mean, bro, you can't argue with 12 and a half sacks.
Can't.
Nope.
I mean, what are you supposed to do with that? And that's a guy that hasn't got paid. But us Dolphin fans are clamoring to pay Christian Wilkins and Christian Wilkins. I can't believe these words are about to come out of my mouth. Quentin Williams had 12 and a half sacks last year. Christian Wilkins in 4 years has 11 and a half. So
That
there
is-
you go.
With more games too, but
Way more games.
You want to wrap that around your head. 11 and a half sacks in 4 years. This dude has 12 and a half in 1. Unbelievable. Continue, Cap. I think this is great. I'm enjoying this.
I figured you would, buddy. I'm glad you stuck around because I knew you were going to like it.
Yeah, me too.
So we're getting into the top 3. Okay. Before we get into the top 3, I want to tell everybody to hit the like button. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitch, or Twitter, make the journey over here and get in with the YouTube channel and subscribe here on YouTube. Get in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's made it over from the other networks and made it on the chat. Hit the like button, subscribe. Make sure you guys are checking out all the great content we are providing with everybody you see up here. Myself, El Capitan, with the Fins Tailgate. You got Color and Ali in the early mornings doing the Top of the Tailgate Network show. You got KP coming at you with some new stuff here directly. Wait till KP gets back from doing some fam stuff. You're going to see some good stuff from him. And then you got Lou and Shake in the afternoons doing the drive time, the smoke lounge, all the good fun stuff. You can catch them out there. You can catch them on Saturdays. Just keep the notification bell. You can help support the channel through Cash App or Venmo. $, the Fins Tailgate for Cash App, and then the Fins Tailgate for Venmo. Also, another great way is to just go ahead and hit the join button. You can also do super chat. Great ways to support the program. Fanatics link is in the description on the home page. If you guys want to do help support us by buying yourself some Fanatics gear, or check out W energy drinks. That you can find them on our website. We'll get to that in just a second. Use offer code TFTG to get 10% off your purchase. And also our friends at Backroom Collections, using offer code TFTG will get you 10% off when you shop with them too. And then also, guys, check out our merch store, our website, our stuff, tftgnetwork.com.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor, we're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
Boom. yeah, make sure you guys are checking out all that good in the neighborhood. Oh yeah, and shout out to MCJB, who's going to be having a song drop tonight at midnight. So a new coming around yonder from the beloved MCJB. Later, Ali's getting out of here for the morning show. Color, you should slide too. Color, you got a morning show as well.
Thank you,
So,
gentlemen. You all have
later.
a great night.
Have a good
Yeah,
night.
I'm just
Like-
about out of here
Later.
too, guys. Y'all
Yep.
have a great evening, great show.
We'll
I'm gonna
see you-
keep listening in bed, man. So, cause it's great content, bro.
We'll see you at the
Yes.
top of the tailgate. No problem.
Oh yeah,
Later,
for
man.
sure.
You guys be easy.
Yay.
Yep, everybody.
Alright. So now we're getting into the top 3, fellas.
Well, before you do, I want to do something real quick. I'd like to give a special shout out to Adam. I appreciate this comment. I respect all channels that Shake Money's on. I appreciate you, Adam.
Sweet.
but-
Thank you, Adam.
Sweet. Yeah, for sure.
But anyway, just want to real briefly. This Saturday, I got 3 more flavors of W that I'm going to be sampling.
Ooh.
And we're going to be doing the wrestling. We're going to be doing the wrestling podcast. I mean, the wrestling channel. The show this Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. So, depending how well it does, we'll continue with it. But you know what I'm saying? Like I said, this Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning, we'll be doing some more. I'm going to be doing another preview. So, be on the lookout for that.
I
But
can't wait. Just keeping us entertained, buddy. That's what we appreciate. Shout out to Miss Fins. I see Miss Fins in there too. Hey, Miss Fins. Dolphins really are pointing her out. I see you, Miss Fins. So we are now entering into the top 3. There is a name I didn't see in there. Will he be in the top 3? Number 3, Jeffrey Simmons, Tennessee Titans. Bro, I swear, if they were going to let this man walk, I wanted him. I wanted him, bro. Jeffrey Simmons is a beast. That's the next coming of the great freaking tackles in the NFL right now. I don't give a damn what anybody says. He's 25 years old. Buddy just got a payday. I remember watching him. I'm like, damn, this guy is fucking good. He looked like a dude hitting his stride.
Yeah, Jeffrey Simmons from Tennessee. He's a monster. I would have loved to take a turn.
He's a
Yeah, I would've-
monster, bro.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. Yeah, he did get the bag too.
He got the bag. He looked, you know what it was? His stats don't so much say it. It just felt like this guy was the reason for wins. You know what I'm saying? He
anchor
feels
in the
like,
middle of the field.
but he just seems like a game record, bro. Anyhow, and the Tennessee Titans are the exact type of franchise that can ill afford losing a guy while they're experiencing turmoil at quarterback, turmoil at potentially coach. They've got a lot going on right now with the Tannehill thing and that whole deal. Like they need some stability. They can't let a 25-year-old, walk. He's a guy who has been in the league 5 years. They had to pay him. He rode out that 5th year, and they gotta pay the man. You know what I'm saying? Or excuse me, they rode out that 4th year with him. He's a first-round pick of theirs. This is an interesting circumstance. You know what I'm saying? This is an interesting stat line from this guy.
What were his stats in 2022?
So, okay. Right now, so his stats in 2022. What happened here? Why is it doing that? Here we go. His stats in 2022. Now he played in 15 games. He had 54 tackles, 25 solo, 29 assists, 1 forced fumble. He had 7 passes defended, 9 tackles for loss, solo tackle for loss, excuse me, resulting in 16 lost yards. The man had 7.5 sacks last year. Now, this was coming on a back-to-back year where he played 17 games the year before in 2021. He had 54 tackles, 42 of them solo. 42 solo tackles, dude. That's only 12 assist tackles. 8.5 sacks. He had 10 tackles, 10.5 tackles for loss, 6 passes defended. I mean, the guy the last 2 years with his tackles for losses and sacks, he's on a trajectory where they're like, all right, we're banking on this dude. He's getting us 7.5, 8.5 sacks a year. He's getting freaking 8 to 10 freaking on average tackles for losses, solo up the gut. This man is a force to be reckoned with. He's a run stuffer. He's a pass rusher. He has multiple stuff. That's what earned him a 4-year extension, $94 million.
Jesus Christ.
He got a $24 million signing bonus. He has $59.33 million of it guaranteed. His average salary ranks him at number 2 of money per year at $23.5 million a year. Just to give you an idea, they took some cap savings in this year by paying the upfront money and bonuses of $24 million. He will only account for $6.3 million on the cap this year, but next year he'll be 21.8. The following year he'll be 22.8. The following year after that he will be 25.5, and then in 2027 he will amount to $28.3 million. So they picked up his 5th-year option. They finagled the money to give him this extension, spread it out, and now he's averaging $23.5 million a year over the next 5 years, which this is the type of contract that could have come to Christian Wilkins' way. Thank you, Ms. Vince. This is the type of contract I think Christian Wilkins has envisioned himself. The bag, baby. The bag.
Yeah, but still, those numbers are staggering. So he had 9.5 and 7. That's 16 sacks in 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, bro, you just can't compare. Like, I know everybody says Christian Wilkins is an elite run stuffer and, you know, he's a playmaker, and I get all that. But you can't argue with 16 sacks in 2 years from the interior. Like, when we're talking about Christian Wilkins, I'm going to keep saying it. Just think if Christian Wilkins was a guy giving you 7.5 sacks from the interior. Think how more dynamic this defense could be. You see, again, Cap, I think this has been a great way to kind of show people, like, numbers do matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want the bag, you got to be productive. It's not about how nice you are or if you have a C on your chest and you're a good locker room guy. But, like, bro, we're not paying you for that. We're paying you for production, for production, right? And not saying he's not, but he's not giving you these kind of numbers. He's just not.
Well, the last 2 years you're going to be surprised about his numbers when I tell you them.
Well,
but,
tackles though, Cap, but I'm talking about sacks.
I know.
It's not even
sacks,
close.
absolutely. The sacks get you the money. That's for sure.
Right.
And by the way, listen, when I say casual fans, I'm not trying to take shots at anybody, because you know what I'm saying, there are a lot of casual fans.
Just shoot them. Just shoot them. Oh, hold on, real quick. Salute to Mr. Polk with the donny. Thank you, my good friend. First donny of the evening. Thank you, Mr. Polk.
Shout
Go
out
ahead,
to Mr.
Jake.
Polk.
Well, anyway, there are a lot of casual fans that like to just go to the game and watch Game Time. They really don't watch anything else about outside of, you know, the Sunday. They don't watch highlights.
They don't watch anybody other than the Dolphins. So it's hard to get an idea of what is going on.
So those fans love Christian Wilkins because he's very marketable. You know what I'm saying? And that's why the Dolphins want him too, because he sells jerseys, he puts butts in seats. So at the end of the day, yeah, he may not put the stats on the field, but the bottom line for the Dolphins, that's what Ross cares about. So that's another reason they want him.
I agree with you on that, but this organization has cared too much about profits and not enough about winning.
And that's the reality of the situation, though. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what this program and me and my fellas and fellow contributors and fans that are subscribers and members and moderators that attach themselves to the gate. This is what we love this team, but we expect reparations for all the years of being Dolphin fans. We deserve some Super Bowls. It is high time. No more of worrying about jersey sales up in this bitch. Y'all made enough damn money. I've given you enough to keep the lights on for at least a whole year alone. So let's get real. Let's get real.
Thank you, Mr. Polk, by the way.
And you said he was number 3, Cat?
He was number 3.
Mm.
Number 3. Number 2. 29-year-old Chris Jones, Kansas City Chiefs. A monster year for this man. A monster year to end up number 2. So, hold on. I'm trying to get his contract details. Now, remember, Jeffrey Simmons is number 2 at $23.5 million. They're projecting. The guy is, how old was he again? Hold on. Let me see if I have 25 years old. A 25-year-old contract extension on a young guy like that with those kind of numbers that he put up. That's what they're projecting. Hey, I'm willing to give this guy $20 million a year to get me 7.5 to 8 sacks a year, 50 tackles. The another thing is an average of 10 solo tackles for loss a year. You know, the numbers bear a $20 million deal because he's got solo tackles. He's got freaking 60 tackles a year. He's playing most of his games. He's got, just it's a multitude of things. Passes defended, all that good stuff.
Well, one thing about him, I noticed about him though, when they try to put him at defensive end, he was kind of non-existent, and then they put him back into the middle. He started eating again. Do you think maybe that could be Christian Wilkins' problem, that he's playing too much on the edge instead of interior where he should be?
No, I don't buy that. I don't buy that because that's how Christian Wilkins and other guys like him end up getting an interception in their stat sheet. You know what I'm saying? They drop back into coverage. They do stuff like that. Also, you're a fucking big dude on the edge. Go get it, motherfucker.
Yeah, because that dude, but like I said, the dude from when he was in Kansas City, they had him on the edge. Like I said, he was non-existent.
Oh, Chris Jones?
He was non-existent. And now the second they put him back in the middle, that's when he started eating up.
So, you can say non-existent, but I got the stats here for you, Shake.
Okay.
So, let's, Christian, it goes by Chris Jones, but didn't he used to go by Christian Jones? I feel like it used to go by Christian Jones. I could be wrong. Now, Chris Jones, he's the 8th highest paid defensive tackle, making an average of $20 million a year. His stats last year were staggering. He played all 17 games. He had 44 total tackles, 30 of them solo, 14 assists. He had 2 forced fumbles and 1 fumble recovery that he ended up picking up 2 yards for. He had 4 passes defended. He had 5.5 tackles for loss. And he had 15.5 sacks last year, bro. The man had 15.5 sacks at the defensive tackle position. Buddy was straight eating your lunch in front of your wife and kids, and you couldn't do nothing about it.
God, 15.5. Jesus.
15.5 sacks.
Yeah, we could just move on. there's nothing to talk about here.
Listen to his stats. He's been playing since 2016. Okay, so he's got a 7-year career kicking here. The proof is in the pudding with the guy. Okay, in 2016, he had a second rounder. Remind you, the guy was drafted in. Okay. He played 16 games, 28 tackles, 17 solo, got 2 sacks, quiet rookie season, but still got 2 sacks, still made an impact as a rotation guy. The following year, he came up, got a little bit more playing time, had a little bit more output. 32 tackles for total tackles, 22 of those solo, 6.5 sacks. The man forced 4 fumbles in his sophomore year. He had an interception his sophomore year. He had 3 tackles for loss. He's getting tackles for loss almost every year. So he follows that up in 2018. You're going to love this. Now, remember, this is a full 16-game season at this time, okay? He had 40 total tackles. 35 of them are solo. That means all his tackles were solo. When you only got 5 of them you shared with, you might as well have tackled all of them by your damn self, okay? He had 2 forced fumbles that year. He had 6 tackles for loss that year. He had 5 passes defended last year, which the year before in 2017, he had 7 passes defended. Excuse me, I forgot to mention that. The man had 15.5 sacks in 2018.
Oh, my God.
In 2018, a 16-game season, the man had 15.5 sacks. In 2019, same numbers up and down pretty much, still getting a fumble recovery and a forced fumble. The son of a bitch has made a forced fumble every year except for his rookie season. He's got 1 and 2 damn near every other year. It's going on and off. Followed it up, only playing 13 games that year, but still got 9 sacks in 13 games. In 2020, he played 15 games, had 7.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. That's when he was probably playing a little bit more defensive end at the time, Shake. I think that's when they extended him and got his extension. They were like, oh, we're going to try to get him more up, whatever. They're moving around the line, using him as the weapon that they're paying for. He has 14 games in 2021, getting 9 sacks. And then, guys, there's so many numbers, I'm losing it. The man's got 65 sacks in fucking 7 seasons, guys. He's got 12 forced fumbles in 7 seasons. He's got 3 fumble recoveries in 7 seasons. These are the numbers that have warranted the man getting an extension back in 2020 or 2019, the 2020 season. And his extension was a 4-year extension, this being the last year of his extension. A guy that is going to be on the open free agent market at 30 years old. That if Christian Wilkins doesn't go, maybe this guy's a guy the Dolphins are interested in bringing back or bringing up here. He got an $80 million 4-year deal, which includes $60 million of it guaranteed. That's the type of money you give a guy that gives you those kind of sack numbers.
Absolutely.
Over the last few years, over the last 3 seasons, going from 2021 or from 2020 to 2022, he got 7.5 sacks, 9 sacks, and 15.5 sacks. Shit, the guy, he's got a little bit of a pattern going on here. 6.5 in 2017, 15.5 in 2018, 9 in 2019, 15 or 7.5 on 2020, 9 in 2021, 15.5 in 2022. The guy is a gangster. Those are some serious numbers.
Yeah, geez, I could only wish to have that production. Yeah, he's a monster.
His average cap hit per year is 20 million, as I said. They paid him in 2020, his first year of his contract. They gave him 15 million, or 15 million was his cap hit. The following year in 2021, which is the year they signed, I want to say that was the year they signed Patrick Mahomes. They gave him 8.5 million. The last 2 years, the chicken has come home to roost with that 60 million guaranteed. They paid him 29.4 million last year, and this year they're going to pay him 28.3. That's
Damn.
a lot of money. But
That is a lot of money.
motherfucker made 29 million, almost 30 million, and gave you 15 and a half sacks. That's money well spent in my book.
Hell yeah.
That's money well spent.
Yeah.
That mofo earning his keep. If giving players more money meant they got more production, I would pay them all. You know what I'm saying? I got to figure out what you did to what I think you finna do to what I think I'm finna spend to maybe get done sometime somewhere. Man, that's a hard job.
That is, I mean, to your point though, Cap, like that's the reason 65 sacks in a career is why you get, even at his age, a 4-year, $80 million extension.
Salute,
That's
doctor.
Why, absolutely, I've seen that.
Yeah, but he wants to know I think you just go on the link, right? Click on the link in the descriptions.
So, if the description isn't on the description of my video, but if you go to YouTube's homepage and you'll see where it has the Finn's Tailgate banner, you'll see it says Fanatics. You'll see where the join button is. You'll see where those are clickable links that are on our banner on the YouTube channel. So you can click right on Fanatics and it'll take you right there. And that's where they'll let you know that, it'll let them know that we sent you. So that's the best way to do it. So yeah, those are staggering numbers. And now we've reached number 1. And there's only one guy left, and it's not Christian Wilkins.
Are you sure?
It's Aaron. It's Aaron Donald, buddy.
Oh, it's not who's the guy we dropped the second round?
Raekwon Davis? No.
Yeah, no.
Aaron Donald is the number 1 paid defensive tackle in the league. Number 1. In case for all you guys that did not know. And he's number 1 on the list in ranking the NFL's top defensive tackles at ESPN. Jeremy Fowler, excuse me, I never gave him the credit for the list. Aaron Donald is 32 years old right now. His cap hit this year, his average cap per year, $31.67 million. God damn. Buddy is got the money. I mean, there's a reason why you saw him smiling so much after they won the Super Bowl. He's like, yay, I'm rich and I won. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real. I'm rich and I won, bitches. But he's been doing this for a while. He's been around since 2014. And one thing is consistent is the man's sack numbers. God damn. Guys, I mean, holy fuck here, boys. So, it's rookie season, right? Out of Pitt, drafted in the first round, 13th overall pick by the St. Louis Rams at the time. He'd been around since 2014. His rookie season, he had 9 sacks. He played all 16 games, had 47 total tackles. 37 of them were solo. He had 11 tackles for loss, 1 pass defended. The man is a gangster. Then in 2015, played a full season again, had 70 tackles. I repeat, 70 tackles, 43 of them solo, 26 assists, had 11 sacks. Then get this. He picked up a fumble and ran that bitch 40 yards that year. And then he had 13 solo tackles for loss his sophomore year. What a sophomore year to come in there and say, yeah, bitches, I'm in this muh. He then followed it up again in his junior year in 2016, playing again all 16 games, 47 tackles, 35 solo, 8 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and then 11 tackles, solo tackles for loss with 5 passes defended. 2017. Now, he did miss 2 games that year, but still managed to put up 41 total tackles. 32 of them were solo. But in missing 2 games that year, didn't slow his stack numbers down. The son of a bitch got 11 sacks. And guess what? He had 5 forced fumbles that year. He was smacking the ball out of everybody's damn hand. And 1 fumble recovery. And then he defended a pass and had 7 tackles for loss. Year in and year out, this man is getting it done. Year in and year out. 2018 is when he really said, I am the best defensive tackle. I am a gold jacket tackle wearer. He played all games. He had 59 total tackles. 41 of them were solo. He had 4 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries. He had 9 solo tackles for loss, defended a pass. The son of a bitch had 20 and a half sacks that year. 20 and a half. 20 and a half. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Yeah, but can he do a split?
Yeah, listen. You don't need. He could do a backhanded spring split onto a fucking teacup. 2019 again played all 16 games. So up to this point, up to last year, he only missed 2 games his entire career. Up to last year, and even last year he only missed 5 games. So in the last, however, since 2014, he's only missed 8 games.
Years. 9 years.
9
he's
years.
Missed 8 games.
He's missed 8 games.
Yeah, that's a fucking machine, Chris.
That's a machine. Actually, excuse me.
Seven.
That's a fucking madman, bro. Because listen, 2019, he played all the games, had 48 tackles, 29 solo tackles, had 12 and a half sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, 12 tackles for loss. Son of a bitch is getting 10, 12 tackles for loss every fucking year. And 2 passes defended. 2020, played all 16 games again, 45 tackles, 27 of them solo, 13 and a half sacks, 4 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery, and 7 tackles for loss. Then he goes, fuck it, 2021, I'm going to have a little bit of a down year. I'm not going to get 13 and a half sacks. I'm going to get 12 and a half sacks, but I'm going to get 84 total tackles. 84 total tackles. 38 of them solo, 46 assists, 4 forced fumbles, 4 passes defended, 16 tackles for losses. Guy was an animal in 2021. Isn't that the year they won? No.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
that's the year they won. Yep, that's the year they won. He was an animal.
Yeah.
And then in 2022, last year, he only played 11 games, but still got 49 total tackles. 27 of them were solo. Still got 5 sacks, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, and got 11 and a half tackles for loss, or solo tackles for loss. The man, up to this point, 32 years old, has 103 sacks. It sounds stupid to say that as a defensive tackle, but it's got 103. Son of a bitch is getting like 14 a year on average because of that 20.
Bro, when you said his cap hit was 31 million, I was like, you know what? I'm out. Hearing these numbers, I'm back in. I'm back in. Like, what are we talking about, dude?
It's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
Unbelievable.
How many games played, Cap?
And this is how many games played? He played all but freaking 7 of them.
Yeah, he's missed 7 games in 9 years.
He's missed 7 games in 9 years. Motherfuckers, in 9 years, people have missed watching more than 7 Dolphins games. God damn it. Are you kidding me? I've missed more than 7 games in the last 9 years watching them. This bitch is playing them all.
Bro, he's the greatest D tackle ever.
Are you kidding me? The man is a friggin' machine, dude.
Mm-hmm. So you're saying Christian Wilkins isn't heading in that trajectory?
Man,
Christian Wilkins
no.
he didn't get in the top 10. That's what I do know. So just to give you an idea of his contract that he got, he signed a 3-year contract extension, which accounts for 2022, 2023, and 2024.
Damn.
$95 million contract extension. And guess what? 95 million of it is guaranteed. They said, you're having it all, buddy. We're giving it all to you.
I mean, and he deserves it too.
Guess what? They gave him that money, and then that year they won the fucking Super Bowl. So in 2022, they won, and his cap hit was $27 million. Last year, his cap hit is 26, or excuse me. Wait a second. No. Excuse me. They won it in 2021, so they gave it to him out. His cap hit last year was 27 million. His cap hit this year is 26 million. His cap hit next year, which is why they want to move off of him. The last year of their contract, his cap hit is $34 million. And get this. This is why they want to trade him, because they want to get rid of 2025 and 2026, years in which he's how old now? 32.
32.
So he's 32. Next year, he'll be 33, getting $34 million. You get $1 million for every year he's been alive. 2025, they don't have him under contract. $16 million they're carrying a dead cap. 2026, they're carrying $8 million. That's how they did this. They're in cap hell. This is why they're trying to purge. And I guarantee you, if I looked at what's his name's contract, the quarterback, this is how teams go. We know we have what we want. We're going all in on everything, and we're going to carry dead cap into years when they're gone, and I don't give a damn because we're going to win one this year, one next year, and one the following year or whatever. That's how it's done. You have the cleared money, and the Dolphins, as you guys know, in 2025, 2026 are sitting pretty on the cap space situation. So just to give you an idea of the top 10 defensive tackles being paid, number 10 is Vita Vea, who you guys know Vita Vea. He's making $17.75 million a year. Jonathan Allen, $18 million a year at number 9. Number 8 is Chris Jones at $20 million a year. Tied for 5th, 6th, and 7th is DeForest Buckner, Javon Hargrave, and Leonard Williams, all making $21 million a year. And then there's a two-way tie for 3rd and 2nd with Dexter Lawrence and Darren Payne, both getting $22.5 million a year. Then Jeffrey Simmons, who just got the bag for $23.5 million a year at 25 years old. And then there's Aaron Donald, who sits alone and says, I see your $23.5 million a year, and I'm getting $31.67 million a year. Fuck you guys. Get your sack numbers up, bitches, because I got 103 of them in my career. So we've heard these numbers. We have listened, and they are staggering. But something I can hear quite often is it averages to like 60 tackles a year. You know what I'm saying? There's an average of like 8.5, 9 sacks a year. Tackles for loss average around 7. You know what I'm saying? These are the numbers. Forced fumbles Some of these guys got more forced fumbles. That's a huge stat, as you guys know. Fumble recoveries are decent. These are what gets you paid, but none more importantly than the big time, big dollar, high dollar, holler, waller, jollar, fucking sack numbers. So let's go into now knowing what the top 10 guys make, ranging again from Aaron Donald's $31.5 million, which is ridiculous. Vita Vea, $17.75 million. All these other guys are making right around $20 million a year. And Christian Wilkins wants to see his number in the stratospheres of the Josh Allens, the Jonathan Allen, the Chris Jones, the Dexter Lawrence. These guys are all making $20 million a year, give or take a million or two. Leonard Williams, DeForest Buckner. Is Christian Wilkins a name that belongs in that top 10 of guys being paid? What do you guys think? Let me know in chat. Matter of fact, this is the moment. I told you there might be a poll question. Let's see. C. Wilkins. Worth 20 to 24 mil a year. Yes or no? Christian Wilkins worth 20 to 24 mil a year? Because you're going to pay that. Now, yes, you can carry 16 million one year and 5 million another year while he's gone, while he's not here. Also, remember, Christian Wilkins is 28 years old. Jonathan Allen, how old is Jonathan Allen going to be? 26, 25 right now? These guys are, a little bit younger. All the more reason why Christian Wilkins needs to get his money while he needs to get it. I understand that. But I'm sorry. Sorry, I'm not sorry. I'm not saying the man doesn't deserve to be paid. I'm saying that I don't know if I want to pay him that money. But I'm asking the audience to answer the poll question. So, why isn't this happening? Here we go. Let's take a gander at Christian Wilkins' stats. Now, in that ESPN article, he is an honorable mention. He didn't make it in the top 10, but he is in the honorable mention. And here's what they have to say about Christian Wilkins. Christian Wilkins led all defensive tackles in defensive stops last year, which was 79, and stuffs, which was 20 last season. He's a complete player, versatile, rugged, tough, high motor, a high-ranking NFL official said, and he is a defensive player he was their defensive player, their best defensive player when we played him. Oh, okay, whatever. Also in that honorable mentions is Vita Vea, who had 6.5 sacks and 31 tackles last year. Kenny Clark from the Green Bay Packers, who had a season-high 7 QB pressures, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery in just 1 game against the Vikings last year. Holy shit. Derek Brown from the Carolina Panthers, who is a guy I like. He had career highs last year in tackles, 67. He had an interception last year. He had defended 7 passes, had 11.5 stuffs. He looks like a guy that's coming up and going to be good. And then Leonard Williams, who's already been paid. He's been in the NFL for 8 years. He's still, the guy has 38 sacks, 449 tackles, 46 stuffs. The guy's still just he's worth the money he got paid. He already earned his dollars. But Christian Wilkins is in the conversation of the top paid guys and the big defensive tackles. So what is his numbers? He did have great numbers last year. So let's see. As a rookie, he played all 16 games. He had 49 solo tackles. Or excuse me, not solo. He had 49 tackles, 23 of them solo. He had 2 sacks, and he had 2 passes defended as a rookie. In 2020, he only played 14 games, and in those 14 games, he had 43 total tackles, 23 of them or 24 of them being solo. He had only had a sack and a half, and he had 5 passes defended. But he also, that was the year he got an interception. So that's pretty good. 2021 played in all 17 games. This is when Christian Wilkins really started turning it up. He had 75 total tackles. 35 of them were solo, 40 assists. He had 4.5 sacks that year, and he had 4 passes defended. So that was a pretty damn good season from him. But last year was his best up to date as far as tackles go. He had 82 total tackles, 43 of them solo, 39 of them assists. He had 3.5 sacks, and he also had 6 passes defended. So up to this point, he's a tackling machine, that's for sure. He literally, get this number though. A solo tackle is a solo tackle. He's had 249 tackles, guys, in his last 4 years. 125 of those were solo tackles, while 124 are assisted tackles. What has changed in the last 2 years for Christian Wilkins since 2021 and 2022?
Sax Island.
That's exactly fucking right. That's exactly fucking right.
Oh, man. And by the way, Lewis, you were on in that space. I don't know who said it, but there, what did they call him? The Josh Allen disruptor or something like that?
Why?
Yeah.
Because he could talk to Josh Allen and piss him off. I don't give a fuck about that.
I
What
don't
do I give a
fuck about
shit?
that
I don't
nigga.
give a fuck about that. You want to see? I'd rather see nobody talking to Josh Allen and him just going, I lost the game. Fuck all that job and shit. I don't like that shit. I didn't talk when I played football.
No,
Yeah,
and absolutely not, Cap. And I think ain't Josh Allen under when Christian Wilkins has played him? Ain't Josh Allen like 7-1?
He's 9-2 in his entire career, if memory serves.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one loss wasn't without him, so that was his rookie year.
No, I thought the one loss came last year to Buffalo. Josh
I'm
Allen.
saying
Well,
the one
second
loss,
one.
the second loss
he's
was
9-2.
Josh Allen rookie year. Yeah,
Yeah, but I'm thinking,
he only has one loss against Christian Wilkins.
yeah, he only has
Okay.
one. So for all that disrupting that he's doing, it's not causing any wins.
Yeah. What's funny is if you want to call it a disruptor, the perfect example of a disruptor is Jason Taylor to Tom Brady. He was a Tom Brady disruptor.
That is a great example. Now he did turn it up. He had, again, man, these numbers look different on this other page. They're saying 98 tackles last year, 3.5 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, 16 tackles for loss. And then it says 2021, 89 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 1 forced fumble, 10 tackles for loss. So he has turned it up these last 2 years with the tackles and his sacks. He wasn't, but still his total amount of sacks are 11.5. His total amount of tackles, half of them are assisted tackles. Now, I'm not saying that he don't deserve credit. That's why it's an assist. That's why you get that tackle. But Zach Seiler's been here these last 2 years. Is this man worth $23 million a year? That's what he wants.
No. It's not even close. Christian Wilkins, in my opinion, is about a $15 to a $17 million guy. 15
I would give him 18 in a fair world if we had everything created equal, I would say he's worth 18 a year.
18 with
Well,
incentives. 18
well,
with
what did
incentives.
you said Vita Vea was at 17 and a half?
That's right.
Vita Vea, I live down here in the Tampa area. They love the player. It's kind of like the Christian Wilkins. They love Vita Vea down here. But the already rumblings are on the wall that they hate the contract at 17.5 million.
That's exactly what I'm afraid of, buddy.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you
Absolutely.
what, if they pay him that money and it causes Zach Sealer to leave because of it, because we can't afford him, and then we're back to just the numbers of what all the other tackles have without the sacks, which the numbers have been on average for these tackles around 40, solo 30 solo tackles, 20 to 25 assists, getting about 50 to 60 total tackles, and 4 or 5 passes defended and stuff like that. You stack the stat sheet, a forced fumble, a fumble recovery, but then you got 1.5 sacks, 2.5 sacks. Is that the kind? Well, are we paying this man for assisted tackles now? Is that what we're talking about here? Because the only number I'm seeing that is up from all these other guys and going through all these guys, the top 10 tackles in the NFL, the top 10 paid one in the NFL, the only number I'm seeing come up in spades, well, I didn't go through all the top 10 because I didn't go through Vita Vea, but those are paid guys, not the ESPN, is assisted tackles and maybe 5 or 6 more solo tackles. Is that what we're going to pay this guy for? Tackles? The last guy we paid tackles for and we're bitching about money? Who was that on the team that we're bitching about? He's getting too much money. He's a tackling machine.
Jerome
But that doesn't
Baker.
That's exactly fucking right. They're ready to kick that man out the goddamn fucking damn stadium right now because he's making too much money.
Well, I have a better one for you too. Everybody was bitching about Agba's because he wasn't as productive in the first few games. Hey man, what the hell? Why did we pay Agba all this money? He's not getting the production we want. He was another.
But Agba's got some numbers behind him. It's just the injuries. And
what I'm saying though, the first few weeks he wasn't really producing that many numbers, and that's what people were complaining about.
Well, yeah, because he was dealing with that injury. But the reason he got paid, people forget. 9.5.
He broke up.
Uh-oh. Lou, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry. Can you guys hear me better now?
Yep. Perfect.
Yeah, so people don't understand, or people want to, just throw shade at Agba, but Agba was hurt last year. So, yeah, the numbers were down. But the 2 years prior, he had 9.5 sacks both years. That's 19 in 2 years. So, that's why he got that money. I mean, he had 19 sacks in basically 2 years. What are we, again, my opinion, Christian Wilkins, for me, it's 15 to 17 million. I'm not going a penny over 17. I'm not.
Well, just to give you an idea of his stats as a Miami Dolphin, Emmanuel Agba, what earned him the contract? He played all the games. He got in 2020 he had 42 total tackles. In 2021 he had 34 total tackles, 25 solo, 19 solo. He had 9 sacks in each of those seasons, and he also had 5 passes defended in 2020. In 2022 he had 12 fucking passes defended. So when you're getting almost 10 sacks a year, and knocking balls out of the sky, and you're the only guy on the team at the time before you draft, you're the only legit pass rusher we got. That's how you get that money.
Exactly.
He was in the right place at the right time, had the right productivity, and got put on the plan for keeping the defensive team that we had and trying to figure out something else on the offense before the team pivoted. So he comes back. Who knows? Maybe we'll feel different if he plays a full year and gets 13 sacks. Sacks pay, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody know that.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody know that.
How many pressures did he get? That's a.
I don't have that.
Okay.
I don't have that stat. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe I do. Oh, let's see. In 2020, he had 3 forced fumbles. In 2021, he had 1 forced fumble. Had a fumble recovery in 2021. No, I don't have it. I don't have that stat.
Okay.
Pressures.
Well, I think
But
one
yeah.
of the points you made, you hit the nail on the head, though, Kat, when you said, are we going to pay this man for tackles? And you brought up Jerome Baker. Because Jerome Baker, like, to your point, he's a tackling machine. But everybody hates that motherfucker making all that money. So,
and he's only getting like 13 mil a year or something stupid on average.
Exactly.
Was this shit? It ain't even that much. I mean, it's a lot for his position, but I don't even think the man's in the top 10 in linebackers getting paid right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking cut the man some slack. And he's got fucking way more sacks than Christian Wilkins got.
He does.
I mean, fuck. Some of these guys have got 1 year in sacks as much as Christian Wilkins got in his 4 years.
I mean, yeah, a lot of them.
Some bullshit.
Maybe because Baker didn't denounce Brian Flores, they hate him. I don't know. Just saying.
So I've got some more stuff. I don't know if you guys are going to hang around. It's getting kind of late.
Yeah.
I figured you guys might have to bounce. I don't know. But if you guys want to hang. Good.
Yeah.
Good. We've crossed the hour 2 mark. Make sure everybody is hitting the like button and subscribing. Donate to the program, just like Mr. Polk. Join the membership. Great way to be, part of the team and help us out. Hitting the join button on the main page on YouTube. Checking out all our great affiliates here. You guys can find Fanatics link. Getting your gear from Fanatics, use it at the homepage. Just hit the little Fanatics icon. It'll have like a click me button, and you can use that. It'll let them know we sent you. You can find Dubby on our website at tftgnetwork.com. Use offer code TFTG to get 10% off of your purchases, as well as using Backroom Collections. Link is in all these links are on the homepage. All these links are on the website at tftgnetwork.com. Use offer code TFTG to get 10% off with them. And, make sure you guys are checking out the network, tftgnetwork.com.
Get ready to dive into a new world of online shopping with the Fins Tailgate. Whether you're a die-hard sports fan or just looking for the latest fashion trends, we've got you covered. With a wide variety of products from your favorite sports teams to stylish accessories and home decor. We're your one-stop shop for all things tailgate. Our easy-to-use website and hassle-free checkout process make shopping with us a breeze. Plus, with frequent sales and discounts, you won't want to shop anywhere else. So come on in and join the party at the Fins Tailgate, your new go-to destination for all things tailgate.
So, yeah, check out the website and be cool.
That's what's up.
What? What's funny?
I just seen something on the dude put one of those hot death chips in a bag of regular Doritos and somebody ate it.
That guy get punched in the throat with quickness. Like, I can't breathe. You can't breathe either. It's a dirty move. So, I didn't expect to go this long, honestly. Guys, make sure you're checking out MCJB's new release over there on his channel. Got a new song coming out. I would play it, but I'm having trouble pull up the other page right now. Maybe In the Morning Color and Ali, or maybe we'll do it. We'll play the video here soon and let everybody check out the new song from MCJB. Let me see if I can get it up.
By the way, I want to give a shout out to my homeboy Ty Bless, man. He's got a good TikTok. Ty? He's also an admin in the Dolphins Den. Dolphins Den is a great Facebook page, bro.
Yes, it is. I'm a part of the Dolphins Den. They're good folks over there.
Yeah.
great. Yeah, I appreciate all the people on the Facebook side. There's a bunch of cool folks I've met over there. Miami Dolphins #1 fans is a great page. There's like 15,000 followers plus. That's a great page too to be a part of. But yeah, appreciate all the people on Facebook watching. I think I got it from MCJB. Let's share this. I'm gonna play this new MCJB song. Run it back. Oh, hold up. Hold on a minute.
New season, let's go. Y'all ready? Yeah. EMCJB.
Oh shit.
Damn, that was a
Fucked
good
it
song.
up. Shit was dope as hell.
You want me to share it, bro? I'll share it.
I got it.
Okay, if not, I'll share it.
We got it. Is it up? Let me see. Hold on. Here we go. Boom. All right, let's do this.
MCJB. Last year we was one and done. It's a new year, gonna be fun. Two a time, he be on the ground like the Florida sun. You know we gonna shine. Jalen Water go to catch the ball. Then he break an ankle, make a plays fall. A-chain like the when you over like a bang bang, fins up, you know they put it on the show.
Wait a second.
Real fighting on Miami, the home. Other teams they be talking the talk all day. We the fit of the rock. New year we running it back. Super Bowl year we bringing it back. Dolphin Nation it's a new team. We got Fangio with the new scheme. Legion of Zoom in the 305. This year we gonna be 5. Speaking the truth, I ain't telling a lie. Fins up till the day that I die. Every day I bleed aqua and orange, heating up like I'm feeling the lava. JB and I'm repping the fans all day, cause we gonna win. Young Bucks got something to tell you. 7-2 was on top of the game. Zach Thomas, number 54, from the 305 to the Hall of Fame. New season, it's a new year. Miami, they ain't gonna win it all. Cheetah Man with the water, they so fast, it's time to ball.
And this is just the starter. You haven't met the fall. Unless you played the Dolphins, that means you lost it all. That means your time is off. That means you're falling off. That means you've met the winner. I call them to and fro. Some of y'all win it and some of y'all buzzing. But really this year, none of that means nothing. Ramsey with the pick and Howard mean mugging. On the pick 6, we got 7, you got nothing.
Good color.
Yeah, we're the only undefeated team. We make records, y'all chasing dreams. You chasing us, there is no other team. I'm talking 72, there is no 73. I'm flowing with JB, I won't forget MC. That means the mic controller, they ain't controlling me. 2023, Fins gonna win it all. Like a running back, they'll run it back for y'all.
Last year we was one and done, it's a new year, gonna be fun. Two a time, he be on the ground like the Florida sun, you know we gonna shine. Jalen Water gonna catch the ball, then breaking ankles, make a plays fall. A-chain like the A-train, gonna run you over like a bang bang. Years ago we was down bad, but this year we picking it up. Love my fans and I love my team, right to that, it's fins up. Last year we was one and done, but this year it's Super Bowl. Gonna make it and we gonna win it, cause that's the plan and that's the goal. Fins up to my life finish, said it proud cause I really meant it. Other teams ain't got the speed, but it's all good, we got the schemes. This year we going far, aqua orange painted on my car. Other teams better watch out, cause the Miami Dolphins gonna ball out. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was fine.
That was popping.
You seen color?
I did. I seen everybody up in that mud. No, I didn't see. I didn't see me. I need to get up in that bitch.
I didn't see
Biscuit.
me neither.
Lou, we gonna make sure to be there now. Shake, you too. I didn't see your ass in there either.
No.
What the fuck? We need to make sure we're there for the next time.
Hey man, we're not the cool kids.
Hell no.
Not yet.
Mhm.
All right, so
If I say we Christian Wilkins needs to be paid 22, would I be part of the cool kids club then?
no.
Oh, okay.
Listen, they don't know what's cool till me and Lou is showing up there, dog. We gonna show them what's cool, dog. We gonna make sure. Nah, I'm just
That's
fucking.
a fact. That's a fact.
So, dog, shit, cool now. Now I know. I just got here. Shit, cool as a motherfucker. All right, so I mean, look, I like Christian Wilkins. I like the production he's given us, but I don't know if I like the numbers. And you know what? The audience agrees. The poll is ending, and it is a 79% say that Christian Wilkins making 20 to 24 million a year is a no-go. The Dolphins fans have spoken. My eyes don't deceive me with Christian Wilkins. I like the player. I think he does great. I think if Zach Sealer was doing it, I think he'd do just as good for way less, like half. How about half? How about $10 million a year for Zach Sealer? I'll take that.
I'll definitely take that.
I'm definitely taking that. If Zach Sealer going to be the dude, and we're going to get another young buck and bring in a free agent from somewhere, and Zach Sealer, you take this from the reins. Half the money, dog. Fucking half. Not the same half. It's half of it. Fuck that. But come get me 10 sacks this year, Christian Wilkins, and 40 fucking solo tackles, and a forced fumble or two, and a fumble recovery. I'll go, all right, pay this man $20 fucking million right now. All right. So, little bit of chitter chatter, pitter patter on the Dalvin Cook. I've saved the best for last, kinda. This Dalvin
No
Cook
egg monogamy?
No, not Noah.
Okay.
It looks like there might be a player off the board. Right now, they have 4 teams ranked as teams that are going to be interested in the services of Dalvin Cook. Sneaky team to look out for that makes it in this top 4 ranking of teams that want him. The fucking Patriots. The Patriots, a run-first team, a team that if they gave him $10 million, they would use him $20 million worth. You know what I'm saying? You know damn good and well they'll be just, here's the rock. Mac Jones is good. He can hand the ball off so good. And Mac Jones needs the help, and they got Brian Billett coming there. Maybe that's what they want to do. Good or not Bill O'Brien, fucking douchebag McGee. The guy, hey, listen, I hope they make him head coach over in that bitch, because we finna fleece him again, son. Hook it up. Hook it up. Get that guy another head coaching job. We'll be watching his career closely. Anywho,
hey, by the way, make him the coach of the Rams so we could get Aaron Donald for a 7th round pick.
Bro, Aaron Donald's making like $38 million next year. I don't know if I want that. I like Aaron Donald, but then again, fuck, that guy's getting 15 and a half sacks. So maybe. I don't know. It's a lot of fucking money. You'd have to immediately restructure and figure. I'll tell you what, I'd rather give him $22 million over the next 4 years than Christian Wilkins. That's for fucking sure.
Absolutely.
That son of a bitch gonna get you at least 8 or 9 sacks a year. He's been doing it for the last fucking decade. God damn it.
Isn't his cap hit this year $27 million though?
No, his cap hit this year's like $34 million, and his next year's like $38. It's fucking ridiculous. You gotta wait till next year. Take that fucking $38 million. Actually, you'll owe him like $50 million that you'll have to spread out. So you'll have to go, okay, we got $50 million, but you're only under contract for 1 year. You're gonna have to re-sign somewhere. We're gonna give you $60 million guaranteed for next year, this year, that year, and the following year. And pay you 10, 15 million up front. We're going to keep you for 4 years for $20 million a year cap hit. You'll be 37 years old when you're done, but cross that bridge when we can, dog. Go get a second ring with Miami and give me 12 sacks on the interior while fucking Jalen Phillips has put on another 8.5 pounds of muscle on him, which I don't know how much more muscle you could put on that fucking freak. The guy is a freak. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's a monster. But yeah, dude, he's an animal. But the top 4 teams that seem to be interested and have shown interest into the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes, number 1 at the top is the Dolphins. We are number 1 on that list, and rightfully so. We are the only team to have a confirmed offer on the table for his services. Number 2, as everybody has expected, is the Jets. The Jets have expressed a lot of interest into him. There's concerns about Breece Hall and the injury and him being ready for week 1, but hold that note for the time being, because I got something interesting about the Breece Hall situation, and it's a power of deductions. Number 3 on the list is the Patriots. Riddle me this. Number 1, number 2, number 3 are all AFC East teams, all teams that really, have a lot riding on it. And I've got another list coming up later that's going to talk about the 4 quarterbacks in the AFC East list from least to first, who's under the most pressure, but I'll get onto that. Number 4, the final team on this list, the team that has, to me, almost taken themselves off the board, if not they're completely out of the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes, and that is the Denver Broncos. Now, Javonte Williams, he tore his ACL. Now, there was like some other stuff, but from what I can remember, his tear and the ligaments and the problems, his situation was worse than Breece Hall as far as injury goes. But he was at a fundraiser the other day with fellow teammate Patrick Surtain, and he had plenty of good things to say about his his situation. His movement. He believed, like Peyton Manning, or excuse me, not Peyton Manning. Sean Payton had expressed that, hey, they believe that through the surgery, where he's at in his recovery. Remember, it happened, earlier in the season where he could have gotten a good amount of rest time from this ACL, and the ACL injuries are not what they used to be. That he can be ready come, spring training, or time to get ready for football. You feel me? So that he'll be ready for week 1. And Jeff Darlington had some interesting things to say. Hold on. Never mind. Excuse me. No, that wasn't Jeff Darlington. Anyhow, Javonte Williams had some interesting things to say that confirm what Sean Payton was saying about his timetable and him being prepared to play. And just him being out and active in the football camp that he was, hearing it from the horse's mouth, not just from the PR team and the coach and playing the shit. The guy looks healthy, and they have yet to reach out. It's only just been speculation from the media that this would be a team that would want him. So I'm almost ready to take them off the board. The Patriots have shown little, tiny bits of interest, but I believe that was more speculation too. Speculation 3 with Javonte Williams' injury perceptively worse than Breece Hall's, and his timetable is going to be ready. We can almost guarantee that Breece Hall is going to be ready then. Does that not take the Jets off the board?
Yes, Cap. Listen. Breece Hall, they already said he's running. Breece Hall, they think he's going to be ready for week 1. Even if he wasn't, they still have Michael Carter. They just drafted some rookie running back for the Jets.
Israel Idabanka.
Israel, that kid right there, right? Denver's
I
already
liked
off the
him.
board. I liked him too. Denver's already off the board. I would agree with you. And the Patriots off the board. And to your point earlier, I heard you say there's 3 teams supposedly in the AFC East, right? Well, why do you think that is? To put pressure on Miami. It's a conspiracy. Oh, try to keep
Thank
Dalvin Cook.
you.
Try to keep Dalvin Cook away from the Patriots. Try to keep him away from the Jets. Listen, at the end of the day, the Dolphins are the only ones that have an offer out. And I've been telling people for about 2 weeks now, why in the fuck? And again, this is a Miami Dolphins special. We bid against ourselves, right? Don't it feel like that? Hey, Dalvin,
Absolutely.
we got an offer to you, whatever the offer is. Let's just call it $4.5 to $5 million.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it just feels like the Dolphins are bidding out. Let's outbid the Dolphins. Let's go to 6 or 7 when there's no other offers. Again, I hate when the fan base says, well, other teams are interested. Well, guess what, fellas? I'm interested in winning the lottery. That doesn't mean I'm going to win it. Doesn't mean I'm going to, hit on
So
it.
I'm gonna put a poker analogy in right here. It's kind of like playing poker, and in the first round, everybody checks, and you see the flop, and then you're the last guy to have to check. Everybody checks again.
Mm-hmm.
So you try to, you're gonna try to, you got jack shit in your hand. You got two 10 off suited. You got nothing. The flop didn't help you in any way. You bet a little bit, and a bunch of people fold. Now it's down to you and 2 other guys. They check on the next set of round of cards to come out. Are you just gonna go all in because why? Why are you outbidding yourself?
Exactly. For sure.
Well, let me ask you
1000%.
this. Could you think that the Jets and the Patriots pretending to have, let's say they have showing interest, is to drive up the market so the Dolphins have to pay more money and fuck up their cap situation?
To me, and this is the conspiracy Lou's talking about, and this is the thing that I feel like on the network we've been preaching loud from the mountaintops since it came out and was confirmed that the Dolphins have given him a contract, and details coming out and confirmations that it's just a 1-year deal, which I think we all kind of assumed it was just a 1-year deal. It seemed to only be the way in which we kind of envisioned a deal being done with him. It wasn't a multi-year deal. It's a 1-year deal. It works out. We'll bring you back for another year. This is supposedly to Dolphins fans and Dolphins team and what I'm being purchased by my organization, that this is the year. This is our Super Bowl year. People should be knocking on our door to jump on the Super Bowl team. We got Tagovailoa up in this bitch, going to be slinging the rock to the fastest number 1 duo in the NFL. Number 1 on all lists. NFL Network, ESPN. We got an offense. We just brought Big Dick Fangio over here to cure up this defense. This team is Super Bowl bound. You should be knocking on our door asking for positions. That's what we believe. Why would it be a multi-year deal? This is the Super Bowl year. This is the 2020 Rams build the team, build the Super Bowl team. This is what I'm talking about. And it's funny, we've been preaching this from the mountaintops. To me, it is Dalvin Cook looking to drum up interest with his party. You know what I'm saying? He
1000%.
wants more money. He wants to be here.
Mm-hmm.
But he wants to make the money the guys he considers his contemporaries making. Now, it's funny, and I'm going to go over the top 10 running backs being paid in the NFL. But before I do that, I'm going to read this quote from Jeff Darlington on the Dalvin Cook situation. Now, again, we've been talking about this, that he's drumming up his own interest to get the Dolphins to outbid themselves to raise up the value of his price. And this is what Jeff Darlington said. The Miami Dolphins remain interested, and they still have an offer on the table, one that Cook is not willing to accept. I can see him trying to drum up a little leverage. Wonder what that drumming up looks like, fellas. he's still interested in joining the Dolphins, but at this point, again, he is not willing to commit to the deal that they have on the table. So, and here's a speculation that Jeff Darlington puts on what maybe Cook is also waiting for. If Barkley and Jacobs perhaps could reset the market, perhaps it would give the Dolphins and Dalvin Cook and any other team interested in his services on an idea of what he should be getting paid. If this doesn't happen, Cook and the Dolphins would have to work something out in their own mind. What does that look like? Well, he uses Jacobs and Barkley as interesting measuring points, but they both right now are tied for 7th in the league, along with Tony Pollard. All three of these guys, he's saying that Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs want more money, rightfully so, but all three of these guys are getting $10.09 million a year. Does he think he wants north of that? It's just a little odd. $10 million a year is a lot of money. I don't think, and now if they get an average of $8 million a year, but a multiple year extension, maybe that's it. But I don't think Josh Jacobs is going to get $8 million a year. I think he wants more. I think Tony Pollard wants more. I think Saquon Barkley wants more. But all three of these guys are all young guys that haven't gotten their big mega deal. Well, Tony Pollard did, but or no, wait, did they franchise tag Tony Pollard? I can't remember. Yeah, all three of those guys are franchised.
Yeah,
all three of those guys are franchised. That's why they're tied at $10 million a year. I mean, all three of those guys are young dudes. They haven't gotten their deal. Dalvin Cook already got his deal.
They're
So here. Go ahead, Blue.
No, I was just saying they're not paying them, and the fact of the matter is, Miami has all the leverage here, and I think Chris Greer and the organization, if this is what they're doing, they're playing this thing right. Dalvin Cook and his representation, right? They showed their hand. They've been on multiple platforms saying he wants to be in Miami. Hell, Dalvin Cook has basically said it himself in one of his recent interviews. It's a great scheme fit. I love the players. I love the coach. I love everything. If the Jets really did have let's say they did even make an offer, which I don't believe. I think they maybe talked, maybe inquired, but they don't have an offer. It's safe to say that offer is not better than Miami's offer right now? Because if
they'd have to beat it with the taxes, and you got to live in New York. So
exactly, Kat. But this is what I'm saying. Again, don't outbid yourself. Because let's say the Jets did offer him $10 million, let him walk. But I don't think that's the case. I think it's all smoke and mirrors. If I'm Dalvin Cook, or if I'm Chris Greer, this was already the conversation, and we all heard the rumors. I guess the initial offer, Dalvin Cook felt like he was insulted, right? Okay, that's fine. You can feel however you feel. What I'm telling Dalvin Cook and his representation, if I'm Chris Greer, go out there and bring me an offer. Until then, this is the offer you got. Whatever the offer is from Miami, that's what it is right now. Until you can slide a piece of paper across my desk saying, hey, the New York Jets are giving me 8, 9, 10 million, whatever it is. Here it is. Then if we're Miami, we can match that. But until that happens, until Dalvin Cook walks into Miami and says, I got another offer, I don't give a damn. The offer that Miami could have given him, it could have been $2.5 million. I don't really give a shit. I'm not moving off that number. Why would I? You got to bring me another offer. I'm sorry.
So if the Jets offered him $8 million, I think the Dolphins could give him 6.5, and that's equal payola to me, buddy. That's equal payola.
But so here's why would I do the 6.5 if I already got 4.5 and
I'm not going to give him 6.5, so the Jets won't try to give him 8. That's what I ain't going to do. Why am I going to do that? Why am I doing that? That's all I'm saying. Here's what we do know in this situation, and I'm going to go over the top 10 running backs. Here's what we do know. We do know that because of his desire to be here, and they've made that plain, any team that is going to give him an offer at any given point, and this was the point I believe you're trying to make, they're going to bring it to the Dolphins and see what can be worked out from there.
1,000%.
And no other team wants to be used like that. We've seen the Dolphins get used like that in the past where they got a deal. We fly a guy in. He's going to meet with us. And on the flight back, he's signing with another team. How many times that happened to us?
Mm-hmm. It's happened a lot.
Certainly has. So here's the contemporaries now. You've got coming in at 10, getting $7 million a year on average. James Conner of the Cardinals. That guy had some good years, and these last 2 years he hasn't been it. Then coming in at a 3-way tie, we already went over the guys, taking up spots 9, 8, and 7. All three of these guys are franchise tagged. Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley, and Josh Jacobs. Now at number 6, making $11.5 million, Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones is really good. He's been super consistent. He ended up holding that team hostage, and you guys remember what happened. And there was a whole big blah, 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 blah. But Rodgers came in and piped up. They were going to let him walk. Rodgers said he needed him, and now they're carrying him for $11.5 million. And I know for a fact they wanted to move off of him last year, didn't and couldn't. Now they're going to keep him because they're going to be rolling with a young guy. They got to have some stability in the running back room. So he kind of falls into that category where you're a grizzled veteran that we're going to pay extra money to because you're going to get a bulk of this shit because we need this quarterback figured out. You know, even though Jordan Love's in his 5th year, they're going to have Jordan Love and douchebag McGee being a backup that might be the guy that starts, come when it's all said and done. They need Aaron Jones to win football games. So they're going to run that man into the dirt.
Yeah. They're going to use Aaron Jones. He's going to be the offense. They're going to play it safe for Jordan Love, and they're just going to run Aaron Jones into the ground for $11.5 million. So you got your money, but you're going to get pounded for it. So
that's exactly
congratulations.
Right. And no different. Tony Pollard, Saquon Barkley, or Josh Jacobs. All three of those guys are taking a bulk for the money they're getting paid. Coming in at number 5, making $12 million a year. Joe Mixon for the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Joe Mixon is fire. That million for Joe Mixon sounds about right. Average. The where the Bengals have been, where they've been in production, young player on a young team. The Bengals really did it right, honestly. They did a great job setting up their team, getting lucky with the hometown kid. Joe Mixon makes sense at $12 million a year.
But how many years does he have left on that contract?
I don't know. I don't have it pulled up. I can get it real quick. Give me a second.
Because I thought they were even trying to move off of him this year. So I'm sure that contract is coming to an end. And he won't. I think Cincinnati will definitely be transitioning off of Joe Mixon. Again,
so this is his last year, and they are paying him. They are paying him. He does have a cap hit of 12.7. The deal is this: they had a restructure at some point. Something. I don't know what they did. Oh, no, I know what they did. They gave him a $10 million signing bonus and spread out the other $10 million in guarantees. But he's a victim of this is what happens when a guy hits a lot of their bonuses and you got to maneuver the money. They're going to carry next year with him not on the team $13 million. That's why they want to trade him. You're going to get him for 1 year for $25 million, and that nobody's going to take that deal. What's going to happen is he's going to be 24, and either they're going to re-sign him and work it out and try to spread that money out, which is probably exactly what they're going to do, because the next move is they're going to carry $13 million, and he's going to go make 10 somewhere else with incentives and make $26 million that fucking year. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, not to mention, like you say, does he stay healthy? Is he Because I noticed he doesn't play a full season.
No,
never-
he gets hurt a little bit. He's had some injuries here and there.
Okay.
I just don't see him being in Cincinnati much longer.
I don't know. He's pretty damn good. I don't know either. Maybe they're gonna have some Joe Burrow money to pay. So that's but those are the guys that go first when you're gonna be paying quarterbacks. It's like, you want a top dollar quarterback? Not that it can't, but anyhow, number 4. A team that's going to be in mega cap hell here directly. Nick Chubb making $12.2 million a year. But this is on average during their contracts. We know these guys. They've had production. This is their average per year,
Both those running backs are good to get in fantasy. I can tell you that.
But Nick
ain't no
Chubb,
bullshit.
how many years has Nick Chubb played? 4 or 5?
Shit, couple years now, yeah.
Well, see, that's
Got to
what I'm
be
saying.
4.
Okay, but and how long has he already had this contract? For 2
All
years
right.
now, or last
Let's
year?
see.
Because that's what those teams were doing. See, it's not like a Nick Chubb. Yeah, Cleveland gave him his bag, but he was still young and productive. Bro, they're not giving Nick Chubb $12 million at 28 years old like Dalvin Cook is about to be. You see what I'm saying? Cleveland actually did it right. They seen a running back. They drafted Nick Chubb, and 2 years in or 3 years in, they said, "Hey, we're going to give you an extension." And that's why, okay, yeah, I can see it. But, bro, you're not bringing in Dalvin Cook for $9 to $10 million at 28 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick Chubb, second round pick, 35th overall in the 2018 draft out of Georgia, as you guys know. Fucking guys, what a snag. He's played 5 years now. He's 27 years old. He signed a 3-year extension. Now he's second rounder, so you got to pay that guy in his 4th year and get that extension on. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you do that. If he's a first rounder, you got that 5th year option. You give him $10 million like Barkley, but they make more money. It all kind of evens out a little bit when the running back's drafted that high in the second round. You just get that 5th year or you don't. So he got a 3-year extension of $36.6 million, includes $12 million signing bonus. $20 million of it is guaranteed. That is some decent money for a fucking young running back. His dead cap hit, or his cap hit, excuse me, for 2021, the first year of that contract, was only $4.7 million. 2022, it was 5.2. Here's when and why they want to start talking about moving off guys. His 2023 cap hit is $14.8 million. His 2024 is 16.2. So they have a potential out in their next year. They can cut him and only carry $4 million in dead cap. He probably will get cut.
Absolutely.
And they'll save themselves $12.2 million next year.
Yep. Yeah.
This is why you don't take a multi-year deal on a Dalvin Cook. No offense to Mr. Cook, but fucking Bradley Chubb's going to be out there, and he's going to already be getting $4 million in dead cap, and I might get him $10 million for 1 year. You feel me, dog? I'll be paying Bradley Chubb's and Joe Mixon's and Aaron Jones's and fucking James Conner's and Dalvin Cook's $7-8 million 1 year deals from now until I die, if I could do that. You know what I'm saying? Give me a guy with a second breath on a prove-it-year deal that I know is pretty good, but is a little long in the tooth. But you bring him in, he's helping Airbud every time. Thank you.
Yeah. I'm guessing Henry's going to be number 1, but go ahead.
Well, you would guess wrong, Shake.
Because
Derrick Henry is number 3.
Oh, damn.
Derrick Henry making $12.5 million on average per year. How cray is that? You would think Derrick Henry doing all the, I mean, he literally has carried the franchise, all but last year when he got injured. I mean, you would think that would be the big time buku bucks, but Derrick Henry, another second. Man, can you believe that guy was picked 45th overall? Remember, everybody was worried about him not being fast enough. He was going to break down. he was gonna, no. He's been playing 7 years now, Derrick Henry. 7 years. He's 29 years old. He signed a 4-year extension back in 2019 for the 2020 season and beyond. Listen to this. Derrick Henry got a 4-year extension of $50 million, got $12 million up front. 25.5 of it was only guaranteed, so it was only half guaranteed. But he hit a lot of those bonuses. They spread out the money pretty decently, a little bit, but because he's hit some incentives and how things have worked out, they've had to move it around again. His first year, he only counted for $6 million against the cap. His second year was 13.5. His fourth year, last year, 2022, was 9.3 million, and that year he was down. This year coming up, the final year of his contract is going to amount for $16.4 million at 29 years old. Then get this, 2024 and 2025, they're going to carry dead cap of 4.7 in 2024 and 2.5 in 2025.
And he won't be there. This is what I'm saying, dude. This Dalvin Cook idea is a bad idea.
It is if you're going to try to do a multi-year deal, potentially. It's a bad idea if you start getting into the $10 million range for sure. You're really shooting yourself in the foot. Number 2. Who do you guys think is number 2?
Number 2 running back.
Is number 3. Nick Chubb was 4. Man.
God damn.
Let me see. Those guys are under franchise tags. God damn.
So this is a guy.
Hold on.
Eckler got a big. No, Eckler didn't even get fucking tagged, bro. He's on that option right now. Eckler's pissed. He ain't making shit, and he's been everything over there.
Barkley, it ain't Barkley.
No, Barkley is that. So it is Alvin Kamara coming in at number 2.
That's
Alvin Kamara, $15 million a year.
Ain't worth it.
Oh, well, I mean, look at it like this. Alvin Kamara signed in 2019 a 5-year deal with the Saints. Now, remember, if memory serves me correct, they took him all the way through his contract. They lost the leverage, needed to keep him. That was the last year they wanted to keep him for
Drew Brees.
For Drew Brees. They put him 5 years, $75 million, 33.9 guaranteed with a $15 million signing bonus.
Fucked is what they are.
Well, they were carrying dead cap when they paid him. I mean, that team really, as competitive as they were in 2020, it's just crazy to think how much dead cap. They had $33 million in dead cap. Anyhow, so here's what his cap hit was 2020, the first year of that deal. It was $4 million. Second year of that deal in 2021, it was $5 million. In 2022, it was $6 million. And then this year coming up, it's only $8 million in dead cap or in cap hit. The chickens come home to roost in 2024, but they have an option to get out. This is the Chris Greer contract. Look at this shit. Holy cow. So they could keep him 2024 and 2025 for astronomical numbers. So 2024, his cap hit would be $18.8 million. In 2025, if they were to keep him on the current deal contract, it would be $29 million to keep this guy. There is no fucking way that Alvin Kamara sees 2024 or 2025 as a fucking saint, because listen to this, ladies and gentlemen. They can take a dead cap hit of $16 million, $16.8 million, and get off his contract. They would still get more money back. This all coming after the restructure. So that restructure that they took in 2021 to maneuver the money really worked out in their favor. They're still going to carry a little bit of dead cap over the next few years of $5 million out of the rest of that to pay him out, but they're saving tons by getting off that contract. He is gonzo. So let's go to number 1. Who is the most paid running back?
Christian McCaffrey.
That is right. That is correct. So Christian McCaffrey, on average, again, Alvin Kamara making 15. Christian McCaffrey, $16.02 million. Damn. And he just got the bag too, boy. He just got an 8th overall pick in the first round by the Panthers, as everybody knows. And that was only in 2017. He's been playing for 6 years. He's 27 years old. I mean, he's not 28. He's not 29. He's not 30. So he's still kind of young. He has had some injuries, but everybody knows how dynamic the guy is.
Well, 1,000-yard rusher, 1,000-yard receiver.
Yeah. I mean, God, dude, he's so good. So Christian McCaffrey signed a 4-year deal worth $64 million contract with the Carolina Panthers, and it included $21.5 million signing bonus and 38.2 guaranteed. So over half of it, almost $40 million guaranteed. So in 2020, the first year of that contract, it cost $7.8 million on the contract. In 2021, the second year of the contract, the year in which he got traded, or excuse me, oh no, he in 2021 he went on IR, and they only had to pay him they paid him $6.9 million on that year. Let's see. How do they do this? What does this say? Okay, here we go.
Didn't the 49ers give him a new contract last year?
Well, I'm looking into it right now. It's just kind of odd how they break it down. Let me see. They've got the details. It's just a lot. All right, so when the 49ers traded for him, it ended up costing the 49ers in 2022 only $6.9 million, but then they restructured for his deal. And here's what it says. What does it say? It says, okay, I don't know. I'm going to have to find more. It's confusing to read it on Sports Track because there was a midseason trade and how it works. I guess, did they just absorb the contract? I don't know. Did they not restructure his deal?
I think they restructured it and gave him more years and more money.
I don't think so. I'm not seeing that. Because right now it's showing them, maybe they, hold on, how many years, what did they sign him for? It was a 4-year deal.
I thought it was a 4-year.
Yeah, so, okay, so they restructured. So that is his, I don't know. It's confusing. They're only talking about the Carolina one right now. Maybe they just spread the money out. I don't know. Let's see. Did he get that restructure in 2021? Yeah, they did. So no. They maneuvered some of the cap around, so they're carrying dead cap in 2026 and 2027 when he's not on the team, but he's making the same money. They probably just gave him more guarantees. I don't know. I do know that in 2023 he's counting for $3.4 million. In 2024 he's going to count for $14.2 million, And in 2025, 14 million point two. And then in 2026, he's not going to be on the team and still getting 4.2. In 2027, he ain't going to be on the team and still getting 2.2. So they did something there.
I think so.
They're giving him 12.
Year,
they're giving him 12 mil a year, each one of these years. So 38 million, 36 million. No, yeah.
See,
All right, hold on. Let me do
I
the
don't
math.
I don't think he's going to be on that team in 2025 when that cap hit is 14 point something million.
It's 14.2 next year. It's the same pretty much over the next 2 years. It's going to be 14 million a year. So this is their shot? No way. They're going to keep him. They got a young quarterback. They got to figure it out. He going to be there, dog.
I don't know. Again, see, this is where it kind of gets weary with Christian McCaffrey. Yeah, I know things worked out at the trade deadline last year, but you think when that cap hit is 14 million next year, and let's say he misses 5, 6, 7 games, but which again, we always said about Tua, let's be consistent with all players. Christian McCaffrey is an injury-prone running back.
Yeah,
It's just a fact. So if you're telling me that the 49ers are going to pay a running back $14.5 million, and let's say he misses 5, 6 games, you think they're going to carry that another $14 million in 2025? I don't think so. I think
they ain't going back to back for 14 million if you missing too many games.
Exactly. I know it's I should have saved this for.
But who's going to trade for him? Who's going to trade for him?
You'll have to eat some of it, but I'm pretty sure you'll save some money.
I'm sure they'll get a little bit of money back, but they're still going to carry dead cap of $5 million over the next 2 years. You're kind of fucked.
Well, here's the thing about San Francisco.
With Christian McCaffrey.
Well, here's the thing with San Francisco is they don't have to worry about their rookie, their quarterback coming off a rookie deal for like another 3 or 4 years.
See, that's a great point, Shake.
$15 million is cheap right now.
Money not spent. Money not spent is money spent somewhere else. Great point. This is when
you're gonna have to pay. You're gonna have to pay your safety, that kid that they drafted. You're gonna have to pay probably one of those.
Yeah, but they just drafted him last year, though. It was just last year, so he's still on a rookie deal for like 3 years.
Yeah, but ain't that linebacker that ends up next to Fred Warner Greenlaw? Ain't he coming up for contract?
There's always guys you gotta pay, as you know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna dig in the weeds on that. Well, but something tells me, if they need to keep him, they will. But I don't think you miss games, they're gonna cut you. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm. Certainly a 30-year-old running back missing 6 games. We're gonna bring you back at 31.
Besides, they trade for him, so I don't think I think they don't. The dead cap is pretty much. Carolina has the sign most of the guaranteed money anyway, right?
No, they picked it up when the trade. You pick up a trade, you take all that responsibility. Now they didn't get the money back they already spent, but all the dead cap they would have brought, all the money that they owed, that's yours now. That's what the trade is. That's why Carolina traded them. They're purging their roster. So interesting. The exercise I wanted to do tonight was to educate people a little bit about roster construction. There's a lot of arguing going on about pay Christian Wilkins, pay whatever it costs, bring him in. And listen, I'm willing to, whatever it costs, I'm willing to bring him in as long as it results in a Super Bowl. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
But we can't get ahead of ourselves, because what happens is you start running with your head forward too fast and your feetsies can't get up there and you start tripping up on yourself like a doofus. You need to play it cool and be cool and stop worrying about as if Christian Wilkins is going to personally call you up and say thank you, or Dalvin Cook is going to invite you out to dinner or some shit. Like, fucking stop falling in love with players and understand what it means to build a winning franchise and a winning football team. That's what I'm trying to say. And, delve into it. You can delve into all the fucking PFF and Statty McStattenstein and little colorful circles with numbers written in them, and, bedazzle it all up any way you want. But the dollar's got to make sense with the constrictions. It's having a budget and knowing how to use it and what's most important. That's what it is. Got to be smart. Got to be smart.
Hell yeah.
So, show went on way longer than I've anticipated, guys. I appreciate everybody coming. Lou, Shake, you guys got some final thoughts?
No, tomorrow in the Smoke Lounge, we're gonna be doing that the top QB list. I guess that's what it is. We're gonna be doing, Lewis.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Why can't I remember his freaking name? You know who I'm talking about, right?
Special guest.
Yeah, he's gonna be guest. We're gonna do a small panel. What's his name? Benjamin. Benjamin is gonna be a part of it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm working on the small panel guest. Of course, we always have three. We always have room for you, Ali and Color and KP to join. So
Yeah, it's gonna be a good episode tomorrow. For me, I guess my final words would be no on Christian Wilkins, no on Dalvin Cook.
I say
at.
yes on Christian Wilkins next year, maybe. I like the franchise tag, and I say sure on Dalvin Cook, just not for $10 million. What are we talking about?
yeah,
You gotta buy me a ring first, baby, if you want me $10 million. No, fuck out of here. I don't think so.
I'm liking that $3.5 million.
No, listen, I pay him $6 million. He need to make the most. Guys are making $4.5 million, whatever. You know, honestly, I'm pretty sure the deal that Chris Greer offered him is exactly the deal I think he should get.
Incentive based though. If you make it incentive based too,
so I'll sprinkle a little bit of sprinklies on there, make you feel better or what have you. But nah.
Yeah.
All right, fellas. I'll see you guys later. Make sure everyone's hitting the like button, subscribing, fins up, everybody. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.